Peggy 3.
More importantly, good afternoon. This is the first ever PlayStation Tournament Pro for a Day. My name is Brandon Smith, and next to me is that man, Richard Buckley. We'll be taking you through the action over the next couple of hours, and which proves to be a really special day, Richard, because it's a huge opportunity on the line here.
It really is. There's a lot to play for these players. They've gone through sort of quite gruesome qualifying process, an open qualifier where you have to grind it out to be the very best player for the team that you are wanting to represent. We're going to break it all down. We're going to tell you which teams are involved, the prize money and all that. But I'm just excited to see the next potential FIFA players getting their opportunity, Brandon. These are the 4 players who have qualified for the teams. Talk me through them.
Yeah, more importantly, if you don't know how this sort of PS4 Tournaments Pro for a Day tournament does work, the setup of it, it goes across 6 different countries. We're just covering just the UK section of this. We're in Brazil, we're in Spain, we're in Germany, we're in France, and of course later on tonight we are going to be in the United States of America. But as you said, it popped up on the screen quickly. We've got 2 of the biggest FIFA YouTubers, content creators in the world, not in the UK, in the world, in Bateson 87 and AJ3. Then we've also got a team that are involved in both football and involved in esports in #United. And of course, last but not least, an absolute icon esports organization, which is an iconic esports organization in the terms of just, League of Legends, other games. This is their first step into FIFA for a very long time. And that's G2 Esports, Richard. So we have been absolutely spoiled with the lineup we got today. But speaking of the players that have got involved, we've got a mixed bag of players, haven't we?
We do indeed. And we're going to have a look through the group standings. How is this tournament going to play out today? We've seen the players that are representing the teams, but let's have a look at the format of the day. And it's going to be a straight group standings. No knockouts needed. It's going to be everyone plays against each other once. Whoever finishes top of the table wins the prize money. And I tell you what, there's some decent prize money up for grabs.
Yeah, there is indeed, Richard. We'll come on to that in just a second. Speaking of the players involved then, so from top to bottom, it's AJ3's Josh Ablett. I'm sure you know that man very, very well. Got it in front of me here. You got Bateson 87's Michael Fisher. If you follow your competitive FIFA well, he did qualify actually for the E-Premier League this year. Didn't make it to the finals, which of course is today as well. He unfortunately went out after just 2 games there. Then you've also got from G2 Esports, their very own Spaniard in Juan Alberto Bernardo. Of course, he goes by the name of JabGT. All these players are foot verified. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And then last but not least, it's a name we love to see here on the competition centre provided by PlayStation. And that is MHay. He's been involved in pretty much, it seems, a handful of tournaments. E-Premier League with Sheffield United, a couple of qualifiers as part of the Global Series. And ever since the Open Series kicked off, he's been involved in that. He's won a handful of the European, of course, Open Series tournaments there. And now he's here for the Pro for a Day with #United. And I've said this before, if these players play well, who knows what is on the other end? Of course, there's some serious prize money, which we'll go on to right now and show you that, because it is some solid cash, Richard, for a Friday afternoon, isn't it?
It really is. £1,500 for first place. So if you finish top of the table, you're taking home £1,500. Second, £500. Third and fourth, £250 each. And look, this is not really made for the pro player. This is made for the person who's aspiring to be a FIFA pro player, to be a pro for a day, the person who's looking to take their sort of FIFA career to the next step. That £1,500 could help you buy a PC to start creating content better. It could help you sort of take a month off of work potentially, or anything. You could use that money for absolutely anything, either for helping you potentially put some other personal things to one side and say, look, that money's going to there. I can now focus on competing, or creating content, building out your setup and really taking your sort of FIFA career to the next level. £1,500 is a decent amount of money.
It's decent as well. Bearing in mind, you've potentially only got to play 3 games, Richard, and you could potentially win that money. It's not bad at all. As we said, it's only a group standings today. We'll look forward to seeing how that one does play out in terms of the goals that are scored, etc. However, it must be said, all games are best of 1. All right, so they're one and done. There's no aggregate score lines. There's no sort of best of 3 or anything like that. So best of 1. If we are drawing after 19 game minutes, we will be going to golden goal. I mean, we're used to penalties, Richard, but golden goal, that's a bit of a throwback. We haven't had that for a while, have we?
Yeah, golden goal. It's a pretty sort of ruthless format, I have to say. If you are in 0-0 and you maybe concede kickoff or you concede maybe a set piece, it's going to be a hard one to take, especially with you're only playing each other once. Do you know what I mean? You don't really get the chance to start slow in this format because by game 3, in the overall standing, somebody could have won their opening 2 matches, be on 6 points, and might not even be able to get caught. He might be away from everybody else. He might be already up there and potentially winning the tournament. So it's going to be a real tough format. We have to say as well, if there are 2 players who finish on the same points, it will go down to goal difference. So not getting smashed potentially could be a big thing inside the head. It could be a big sort of turning point. Look, if I'm 2-0 down and I'm not going to get back into the game, let's just keep it at 2-0. Let's not concede any more goals and sort of play the long game, try and get those goals back in a different match.
Well, it's safe to say we've seen our fair share of head-to-head FIFA this year. Sort of ever since the global series has come to an end, we've had a handful of these fantastic tournaments over on PlayStation's competition center, and they have been predominantly head-to-head just to keep it as an even playing field. And that sort of begs the question, and it says to everybody, you guys at home as well, I want to hear from you in the YouTube sort of comment section. Which team would you play as? Do you go as a Real Madrid? Do you go as a Barcelona? However, if you're a pro or you're an aspiring pro, there's only one team that's used, and that's France. And why is that, Richard?
Yeah, it is indeed. France are predominantly the strongest team in head-to-head FIFA. Look, I'll break it down for you. They're probably the most meta team in terms of what they offer, in terms of the skill moves and weak foot in the final third, in terms of the pace at the centre-backs that they're offering with Lenglet and Varane, 2 of the best centre-backs on the game. And in the other areas on the pitch, that's where France might be a little bit weakened, but you've got the players at your disposal in the subs and reserves to make it stronger. For example, if you don't like Griezmann's weak foot, you can then bring Ben Yedder into the central attacking mid spot. If you don't like Lucas Hernandez or Pavard in at right back, you've got players like Tolisso or somebody that you can put over there, such as Kimpembe, as a right back, and you can sort of tinker with how you want to start this France team.
I think the big question that we'll be asking to all of these competitors all over the world today is, have you got what it takes to become a FIFA pro? It must be said as well that all of these guys are foot verified, which means they got over 27 wins on an individual weekend league at some point sort of early on to this year before the cut-off date did come in. Of course, you can't look into that. That's not going to win you titles, win your FIFA World Cup trophies. But what that does allow you to do is play in the E-Premier League. It allows you to play in the partnered leagues, which, as we said, the likes of JabGT, who's not involved in this tie here, played in the E-La Liga. We've got 2 players that played in the E-Premier League. And for someone like Jablet, this is a chance for him to get sort of back into the scene after a really good FIFA 19. Of course, fortunately had a couple of issues why he couldn't compete this year. But to recap the year like he will, he did finish foot verified, comes into this tournament 257th in the world, and just go and get a win today. Go and put everything behind you. This is a fresh start. You're going into a brand new season in FIFA 21. And he's a player that's proved himself. He's played in the Elite Series before with Team Envy in the past. He's been at Foot Champions Cups. He's been at LQEs as part of the Global Series. And we're happy to say, Richard, we are finally underway in this one. First game of the day, we'll see Mitch Hayward representing #United up against Jablet, a.k.a. Sun Tuzu 442, who is representing AJ3 in this one. Of course, it will be Mitch Hayward from left to right. Also on the other side of that, it will be Jablet kicking from right to left in this tie.
I'm intrigued to see how the game starts. Is it going to be a quick start from either of these 2 players? We talked about the importance of the early goal and the early start in this one-legged group standing format. Usually, if this is the first time you're watching FIFA esports here, FIFA is usually played over 2 legs, meaning that you play 2 individual matches and then aggregate the scoreline after the game to find out who is the overall winner. But here we're playing in a one-legged matchup. Kylian Mbappe looking to get past Clement Lenglet early doors. You're going to hear that name said quite a lot throughout the broadcast. Clement Lenglet is not only one of my favourite centre-backs, but he's one of the best centre-backs in head-to-head FIFA.
There you go. A bit of confusion there. Apologies. Jablet isn't playing in this tie. It is actually JabGT of G2 Esports. So it is, as expected, it's G2 Esports against #United. Sorry, first game of the day. Mitch Hayward kicking from right to left, hence why he's got the red cursor over the top of his fullback out on this right-hand side right now. Sorry about any confusion there, but As you said, one thing that he loves to do, Richard, is put Tolisso in at fullback. We've seen so much France. We always talk about France, and we won't stop talking about them, I'm sure, since this first whistle has been kicked till the final ball is kicked later on today. The main areas where you could really be nitpicky and say that needs to be improved is that right-back area. Yes, you've got Benjamin Mendy in on the left-hand side. However, that is always moved. Whether you've got Hernandez that drops into that role. Chance now on the edge of the box for MHay. He's offside, unfortunately, with Mbappe. That could have been 1 goal to the good. But he loves to use Tolisso, and someone else he loves to do, Richard, which we'll see sort of in the second half, is 70th minute substitutions. This man has a way to play with France, and it's a way that hasn't changed in months.
And it's a way that's been very successful. Look, he's already picked up a lot of prize money in the PlayStation Open Series, has Mitch Hayward. When we call him Mitch, that's M. Hayward, just for clarification. And he has sort of perfected this France team with the substitutions that he makes. You saw #United there in the chat box saying, let's go Mitch. Great to see they're behind their respective player in this format.
4 as well. There's no reason why a player doesn't perform well here, and could be knocking on the door. She said best of one hit. Chance to get some points on the board. It changes everything, Richard, when it isn't knockout football. There are second chances. Everyone will play. Each represented player at least once, or here's Dembele. Back to Ben Yedder. What a save from Lloris. Had to be a clutch save, and that's what it was.
What a save from Hugo Lloris. He's not often the goalkeeper of choice in FIFA Ultimate Team, but he is the goalkeeper of choice here for this France team. There's some great goalkeepers as well in this France starting sort of 23-man squad. Mandanda, Areola. We've seen Areola used before here in head-to-head FIFA, but it is the main man, Hugo Lloris, the captain of this France team, lifted the World Cup a couple of years ago. And he'll be looking to guide one of the 4 players. I imagine all 4 players are going to play as France to a trophy.
Well, as you keep seeing in this right top corner, we were right originally. It's Jablet playing in this one against M. Hayward. Don't worry, M. Hayward is playing in this one from right to left. So it is AJ3's representative in this one. Jablet are players. I did say he actually made the playoffs last year out in Hamburg. If you remember those Xbox playoffs were, which Tom Stokes went and won. Of course, he booked a grand final spot after that. Did play for Team Envy on the build-up to that as well. The last Elite Series we saw, that was Elite Series Season 4. Played in that team, I think, with Lost in the Waves. It's a really interesting one, that one. Of course, playing out in London week in, week out. And I think for him, it was the winter months where he played well, Richard. FUT Champions Cup in December, that was again in Gfinity's London. Seems like the place where he seems to play his best FIFA. I think you're right. You said goal difference. We could be looking back on in a couple of hours' time saying, you know, that is a reason why that players maybe isn't second or just earned themselves an extra £500. This game's 0-0. I'm nearly at half-time. I think some games we're going to see plenty of goals. Others are actually going to be really quiet.
Yeah, I think for the most part, Brandon, most games are going to be quite tentative, quite sort of, shall I say, shut up shop, not lose the game. You're playing not to lose. Like I said, in the first sort of 10-15 minutes of this matchup, if you concede an early 2 goals in a one-legged game of FIFA, very rarely do you ever see that overturned. Very, very rarely. That will do us for the first half.
There you go, half-time in our first game of the day. If you have just joined us, this is the PlayStation Tournament's Pro for a Day. We are looking at the UK section of this tournament when we've seen #United's MHay 0. And currently AJ3's Josh Jablet, aka Jablet, 0 at half-time here. Chance to just have a quick look, Richard. 4-2-3-1, as expected. It seems to be the formation for anybody to use, whether it's an ultimate team, whether it's in head-to-head. That's the way you play. Looking at the team quickly, it's what we saw before in the Open Series from him. Pretty much a standard French team. It comes down to personal preference, how you want to use Griezmann. If you want to use Griezmann, some players keep him on the bench, some players play him out wide. Mbappe is also in that conversation. He's a player that often is pushed out wide or kept down the middle. But you know there's always going to be one man that keeps either striker or cam, and that's Wissam Ben Yedder. The 5-star weak foot trait that he has, you can't put a price tag on that weak foot because it's so deadly. It's like, I'm not saying it's nowhere near like R9, don't get me wrong, or Eusebio or Cruyff, but in a head-to-head environment, no, you're not always blessed with those extra traits and those extra 5-star weak foots, are you?
Yeah, it's very much a rarity to have a player with 5-star weak foot in head-to-head. I mean, off the top of my head, France might be one of the only teams that possess 2 players to have 5-star weak foot in Ousmane Dembele and Wissam Ben Yedder. Also with the skill moves, you have Pogba 5-star skills, Dembele 5-star skills, and Mbappe all with 5-star skills. I'm just trying to think of other teams that have a team with 2 players that have a 5-star weak foot. I'm struggling. I can't really think of many off the top of my head. That's speculative.
Well, again, if you have been following sort of the Open Series, which is another string of events that he's run in the competition centre, which of course is all part of this #PS4 tournament. You can see in the right top corner of the screen. If you guys want to get involved in the conversation with a favourite to win this tournament, do get involved and do let us know. Serious money on the line here. An unbelievable opportunity to represent an esports organisation and to potentially earn yourselves £1,500. I think it goes without saying, Richard, if you can kick off your campaign with a win, it's only going to give you the confidence that you wanted. Into Ben Yedder. This is MHay slowly building into this attack. Pogba tried to punch that one into the feet of Mbappe, but slightly too much venom on the pass.
Feels as though we're very close to something exploding into life in this matchup. It's on the cusp. He's bubbling.
Chance. Jablet back to goal. Scoop turn away. Mbappe still with it. And AJ3's pro for the day. Make a breakthrough in this one. It was pinball action in the box between Mbappe and Kingsley Coman for a split second there. One thing that a couple of players have done, and Jablet's doing that, playing Ousmane Dembele in that cam role, Richard, it can be effective. It means that Ben Yedder's been pushed out into that lamb area, left attacking midfield. But if you can use him right and you can use him well, we saw a couple of players also do that in the Open Series.
Yeah, I think what we've seen people go Ben Yedder striker, Ousmane Dembele cam, and then Mbappe as a wide player, with Kingsley Coman as the other wide player, left attacking mid, right attacking mid. And what Ousmane Dembele at cam gives you is the 5-star, 5-star. We're the only players to possess 5-star, 5-star off of the sort of base stats. You're looking at Neymar to have 5-star, 5-star, and Ousmane Dembele.
It's the same changes, Richard.
Yeah, exactly.
66 minutes on the clock. It's something you have to become accustomed to when you watch MHay with France. How quick he is to make those changes. No one else is coming on other than those 3 players. He brings on a fullback and 2 attacking midfielders, which, of course, Nabil Fekir is one of those. He goes into that right cam area, and Nabil Fekir is often a viable option. Late on into the game, he just adds you a little bit of pace. Alongside Kingsley Coman, that goes without saying. Obviously, the man that scored that Champions League winning goal for Bayern Munich Also so vital, and obviously just so much pace, especially in head-to-head where you haven't got the stamina bars in Ultimate Team with your usual icons, your team of the season players, where they've got unbelievable stamina. And even late on into a game when you want to bring on a Ryan Kent or you want to bring on a team of the season, Ben Yedder, they don't always have that impact compared to what they can do in a head-to-head environment. Hence why MHay is brought on a fullback to try and cancel out exactly what his opposition's going to try and do.
Absolutely. Also, Benjamin Mendy, high-low work rates. He's going to get it forward. He's going to offer you a little bit of an overlapping run and a little bit of an attacking fullback. I seem to remember in the Open Series, he actually sort of helped a couple of goals for Mitch when he was coming on at fullback and sort of bombing down that left-hand side. You see him fresh there on the left, alongside Kingsley Coleman. Two players both brought on the left-hand side.
Well, if you missed us saying it, any game that does end as a draw will go straight to golden goal. Will we need it? That's the question. Here's Jablet, lovely ball around the corner into Mbappe. There's the one more. Griezmann gets the first goal in our PlayStation Tournaments Pro for a Day Grand Finals.
Antoine Griezmann, right place, right time. And I hate to say it, but it sort of came down that right-hand side, didn't it? Benjamin Mendy, so high for Mitch on that right-hand side, and he sort of pulled the entire defence out of position. Mendy was so high up as the left-back, it gave Kingsley Coleman space to get the double-tap pass down the line. Simple pass across the box. Griezmann finishes it, but I don't want to pinpoint all the blame on Benjamin Mendy for being so high up as a left-back and being out of position, but this was sort of the reason that there was so much space for that double-tap pass.
Not the start that hashtag United would have wanted after, to be honest, quite a dominant performance. More possession did MHay. A couple more chances, but Jablet, a player who has got experience, has been in the competitive year, or should say scene, for a couple of years, been knocking on the door ever since he was sort of old enough to compete. And he's 15 minutes away for putting AJ3 top of the pile with potential strong win here. Of course, the other game currently underway between Bateson 87's Michael Fisher and G2 Esports' JabGT. Give you those results after they do come in. Mendy trying to restore a bit of hope for MHay. Mbappe back to Pogba. Kante still with it now, just sort of trying to dance around the box, but Griezmann back, the goal scorer, happy to pull up his sleeves and say, you know what, I scored a goal, but I can happily defend as well.
Pressure put onto Mitch right now. MHay, he's got 10 minutes remaining. Attacking fullbacks and ultra-attacking implemented for him in that bottom left corner. He knows that he has to attack the match right now if he wants to send us into a golden goal predicament.
Pogba. To get around the corner. Does enough to win a corner for his team. 6 minutes left in this one. Expect to see it played short. I mean, you never really see a direct corner come into the box. Coleman. Out to Tolisso, the fullback, who still does remain on the pitch for MHay. Coleman. Varane, get the ball off the defender, get it to an attacking option. Just got his legs tangled up in Kante. Able to eventually pick up the ball. 3 minutes away, Richard, from a really strong start for AJ3's Jablet.
Yeah, so many players behind the ball there, wasn't it, from that corner as well. Literally no room to move for MHay on the edge of the box. He'll feel a little bit hard done by because for sort of 15-20 minutes in this second half, I felt as though he was the player who was sort of brewing and really close to getting that opening goal. In these sort of areas,
one more chance. Sorry to interrupt you, Richard. He'll get
so
one more chance
shirts
here. Added time of 2 minutes. As you're right, everyone's back defending. He's offside, and yeah, that will be the game, you'd have to say. It's in Jablet's hands to throw away. It will be a strong start for AJ3. With his pro for a day, which is Jablet. Players ranked 257th in those Global Series rankings on the PlayStation 4. Gets his first win of the day in the books. That only goal coming from Antoine Griezmann, proving to be the all-important difference in the end there, Richard. But the main thing is we did get a breakthrough in 90 minutes. We did see a goal, maybe not 4, 5, 6 goals that, fingers crossed, we might see later on today. But this is the competition we're looking at. We're looking at players that are on such an even level, sort of even playing field. Sorry if I can get my words out.
Yeah, two great players sort of just battling it out right there. It was one chance, really, one clear-cut chance that Jablet created. He took it down the byline, double tap pass across the box. It's such a impactful and sort of really just overpowered, strong mechanic in the game. The double tap pass is so easy to pull off. You just double tap the pass button, double tap X on the PlayStation controller, and you just instantly, the AI doesn't really pick up on it. You can get in, hit it on the first time volley, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to be looking at a goal.
Yeah, 100% indeed. Of course, that is our first game of the day. When it is possible, we're going to have a look at how that result has affected the standings. Of course, our first game of the day done there, and that is how it has affected things, Richard. It is a win on the board, an all-important win for Jablet of AJ3. Unfortunately, hashtag find themselves at the bottom of the pile. But the great thing about this tournament is everybody plays each other at least once. So we'll be seeing later on MHay against JabGT, and we'll be seeing MHay up against a fellow obviously content creator in Bateson 87's Michael there. So still so much FIFA to be played, Richard. And I mean, looking at across the board and looking at the results, those are the other matches that we should be showing you today, including Michael up against JabGT. So there's still a lot of FIFA to be played, isn't there?
Yeah, that is the next game on the PlayStation Tournament Pro for a Day matchup here between Michael and JabGT. And are we going to see France against France again? Probably. But we've seen a couple of other teams used in the Open Series. If you wanted to compete in the Open Series, compete.playstation.com. That's what you want to sign up and get involved with. That's how you can see all of the tournaments that PlayStation are running. But we've seen PSG used. We've seen Manchester City used in the past. We've seen Barcelona used. But I would probably say statistically, at least 85%, maybe even 90%, 9 out of 10 times, it's France against France.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's just as we said, well, we can talk about France all day long, and I'm sure we will bore you at some point about talking about this French team, the recent World Cup winners, in terms they just offer you a bit in goal, a bit of defence, a bit in midfield, and a bit going forward. On top of that as well, they have a sprinkle of talent off the bench. And the one thing that we always talk about, which, again, if you watch the Open Series, you'll know this is, just imagine if there was an update, Richard, and we could see all these youngsters start to come through. Imagine if we could see Ferland Mendy in this French team. It would be starting in at fullback. You've got potential attacking players off the bench. If Lacazette's involved, there's so many options that could change this team. I
mean, just thinking off the top of my head, those fullback areas, Ferland Mendy in at right back with the 5-star weak foot, and in at left back, Theo Hernandez from AC Milan.
Yeah.
That would cure all of the fullback troubles and sort of issues that this France team does have. And going forward, Anthony Martial potentially getting a call up in the sort of attacking area. Lacazette as a super sub, you mentioned him right there. Just so much quality to be potentially used in this French team. And just, I mean, it's really, really hard to pick a different team in head-to-head. It truly is.
It really is indeed. Of course, this is going to be Bateson 87's pro for the day in Michael Fisher, a player that actually played in the E-Premier League sort of opening group stages for Norwich, did so well to get through the qualification process there, went down to Carrow Road to play in that grand final, did really well to qualify for Norwich. A huge congratulations to him for doing that. On the other side, he's going up against JabGT of G2 Esports. We must say as well, I mean, G2 Esports sort of not in the FIFA esports scene as of yet. Is this the taster that they want today? But maybe for them to have a further impact. And I think that's the big thing. I look across the board, Richard, at all these different esports organisations that are involved, whether it's in France, in Spain, in Brazil, in Germany. A lot of these guys aren't currently in competitive FIFA. So whether this sort of activation behind PlayStation is a route or a taster into not just tasting being a pro for a day, but tasting what it's like to be in FIFA esports for a day.
Yeah, absolutely. G2 Esports, one of the biggest esports organisations on the planet, in a number of different esports titles as well. And this could, as you said, be their real introduction to FIFA esports. Not only are they involved in the UK Pro for a Day, but They're involved in the France Pro like a day and the Germany Pro for a day also. So what I mean by that is there's been different countries all doing the same tournament, the Pro for a day, and I'm sure Brendan will tell you a little bit more about that later in the show.
Of course, we don't know who is who in this one. It will be Bateson 87's Michael Fisher from left to right. In the blue of France, on the other side of that will be JabGT.
Over to Hernandez, looking to build up into the first attack of the game. Is it going to be a quicker start than our opening match between Mitch and Jablet? Mitch Hayward. That was Ben Yedder now on the edge of the box. Griezmann getting a start. Quite a rarity. All the way back, but he's intercepted by the opposing Antoine Griezmann.
Going to say, it certainly feels like it's always the same players on the pitch, Richard. It's just how you put your sort of three cams in your striker out. Who's going to be your left cam? Who's going to be your right cam? How's the rest of the team going to look here? As we said, we are underway. Second game of the day. It's part of the PlayStation Tournament's Pro for a Day initiative. You said we're only covering the UK side of things. These are the country finals. There's so much FIFA being played today. If you do enjoy what you see, we will be wrapping up the end of today's action as well. We will be covering the United States, their side of the bracket tonight, where Team Envy, Complexity Gaming, Team Liquid and Misfits Gaming will all be in action there. I promise you that's going to be another stacked bracket, so make sure you stay tuned in the exact same place here over on youtube.com/PlayStation.
A little bit more information about Bateson 87. Over 3 million followers across all of his social channels. Being a FIFA YouTuber since day dot. Really one of the veterans of the FIFA scene. And still continuing to thrive in the community with the content that he creates. Not only on YouTube, but also live streaming as well.
Pogba into Mbappe, Elastico from JabGT, trying to just get around the side of Rafa Varane at the back. I think you're right. Of course, this is a great opportunity to play under these guys just for the day, but the power as well that the likes of Bateson, AJ3, hashtag G2, just, of course, naming the UK teams involved and content creators. These guys can push these pros under the spotlight, honestly, for the day. Giving them that extra bit of recognition if they go and win it. Not bad, £1,500 as well in the back pocket. Long ball forward. This is Michael now. Let's go out for a throw and eventually possession changes hands. Just like that, 26 minutes in. I think we are going to see a lot of cagey matches today, Richard. It took, what, 70 minutes to see the breakthrough in that last tie. It's just because when you've got two players that are so good, we are looking at the best of the best here. If you don't know how the tournament format for this did work, there was open qualifiers where I'm talking hundreds, if not thousands of people signed up for each individual team. And then there was the finals, the team finals, where you sort of had the best 32, the best 64 compete. And then you're here finding the best player out of all of that. So sort of the creme de la creme of what we're looking at in terms of FIFA talent.
Not only that, but also the mental side of the game, the pressure. This is probably the most that these players have ever played for in terms of prize money, in terms of people watching, in terms of the whole package. You're on an official PlayStation live stream playing for some of the biggest content creators and esports teams in the UK. It really is a pressure cooker. It's all about who can withstand that pressure, who can come out on top. And will it make you better having that little bit of nerves, having that little bit of butterflies in the stomach?
Griezmann. Back to Ben Yedder, half a drag back. Could be a chance here. Griezmann turns and Griezmann hits the post.
Great effort, I have to say. Turned his man beautifully inside the box, Antoine Griezmann. And just the post being the only thing separating a one-goal lead here.
Kante, Mbappe. Trying to do what he can. 5 minutes before the end of the game. Best chance coming from Michael. Lovely interchange with Ben Yedder, who we know he's got that 5-star weak foot. So didn't want to go on it. Laid it off to Griezmann. He sort of twisted and turned and smashed the near post. Another day that one finds the back of the net. Of course, we don't know who is who. Michael from left to right, if you didn't know already. JabGT in that white of France. Defends it well with Kante, who you don't know already. Him and Paul Pogba in those two CDM roles in any 4-2-3-1 is always going to be a solid duo, Richard. Half-time between the two. 0-0 the scoreline. And again, it's another contested game. This is what we're going to be seeing all afternoon long.
Yep, once again, going into half-time at 0-0. You see the pass accuracy. That's the most important stat there at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, not a lot of shots, not a lot of real chance creation happening, but the pass accuracy, 97% for both players. 97% pass accuracy for both players at half-time.
That shows how clinical these guys have been in possession. They might have had all the chances in the world, but for where these guys want to get to, where these guys want to be, if you look at some of the best PlayStation players in the world, whether it's Mo Alba, the 2019 E-World Cup champion, just to name a few, Maestro, also on that list, hashtag Tom this year. Another name that played so well. Those guys are the clinical ones, which, in front of goal, they don't need sort of 7-8 chances, Richard. It's the simple. It's the one or the two, and it's that chance, which is a 95+% chance of finding its way into the back of the net. They don't waste chances. They don't waste possession.
Absolutely. The clinical edge, the cutting edge in the final third is really what separates the real top players.
Second game of the day. If you have just joined us, this is PlayStation's Pro for a day. Looking at the UK finals, the country finals. Kante trying to drop the shoulder. Look at that space that just see Ousmane Dembele trying to cue his run. Does get the ball eventually back to Mbappe on the finesse and into the back of the net. There is a breakthrough eventually, and it will be Michael of Bateson 87.
What a finish that is. Tucked it in to that bottom right corner from Michael. Beautiful little finish on the finesse shot from, who else would it be? The main man, Kylian Mbappe. What a finish.
Unbelievable little chance, wasn't it? On the finesse, posted in.
That's what...
And now we find ourselves in sort of the exact same scenario, Richard. Between the 50th and 70th minute, it seems to be the golden time where the goals go into the back of the net.
And that's exactly what you wait for. You're building for that one chance. You're waiting for that one opportunity.
That was the opportunity as well. How patient was he in the build-up there, Michael Fisher? That's something that doesn't come naturally. It comes with experience, playing in tournaments, knockout tournaments, against some of the very best. Not just on the PlayStation, but on the sort of in the world. Is it going to be a one-goal game again, or these attacking changes from JabGT allow him at least another chance? 30 minutes left. Plenty of time. Hernandez just gets sort of stuck in his tracks there. Wanted to get the ball down the line. It was a lofted through ball he was intending to play to Dembele. Now Dembele finds himself in a right back. just for the moment. Watch out for Mbappe. Watch out for Ben Yedder. These are the guys that can cause you nightmares.
Oh, just the wrong pass. I actually think he opened it out for another shot on the edge of the box there, Michael. I feel as though he could have turned quickly back onto Griezmann's left foot and potentially fired a finesse shot from that rocket of a left boot. But since the goal's been scored, Michael Fisher has been the player in the ascendancy right now. He looks like he's going to get a second, maybe even a third in this matchup.
I was about to say, to be honest, I was expecting the exact same, Richard. As soon as that ball sort of went anywhere near Wissam Ben Yedder, you're already thinking, is that going to hit the back of the net? Is it going to be on target? Second goal would kill the tie. If he can get that chance, Dembele runs into the face of Clement Lenglet. Lenglet gets out on top. The Barca centre-back of choice. He's a usual familiar face that pops up alongside this back four. Always partnering with Varane. You see a couple of players bringing Kimpembe, and then you're looking at maybe sort of Lenglet either being dropped or Varane occasionally. As crazy as you may think this is, pushed out to right back, because that's where the main area is of error in this French team. It's a right back where they need to be able to trust a player. Of course, you can put the left fullback out there, and Mendy occasionally does that. Of course, Pavard is the only out-and-out fullback that you could use. Just comes down to what type of player you are and
Just the pace
what
of
risk
Pavard.
you want to take.
Yeah, the pace of Pavard is a little off-putting. I think he's around the 66, 67 mark. It's a risk, isn't it? Putting him in at right back and knowing that there's sort of a target on your back whenever it goes down that right-hand side, that your fullback can just get burst by the likes of Kingsley Coleman, Ousmane Dembele, even Kylian Mbappe if he goes over there.
Could be a golden opportunity. Possession given away, and it hasn't been a second half to remember from JabGT. Hasn't really created anything, only the one shot so far. Mbappe to conclude the game. He just lacked confidence. I know from a near post angle, it's often a really sort of tight angle and ambitious effort. But he didn't want to back it, tried to play that ball back behind him. A pause has come in again. Could actually get a chance to make the changes that he wants to. 4 minutes left. Pogba into Griezmann. Is there a cutback? Is there an option? Mbappe's in the box, so is Ben Yedder. Finds the cutback, finds Ousmane Dembele. That finds the feet of Clement Lenglet. Seconds of real-life time. A couple of in-game minutes left. It's just passes like that, Richard. They just haven't been good enough from JabGT. He's going to get another lifeline. But it's got to be better in these sort of areas. Mbappe into Ousmane Dembele to send this into a golden goal situation. JabGT cuts it inside, and there it is. A goal that I don't think anyone would have expected.
A goal out of nowhere from JabGT. Beautiful play down the right-hand side. Fake Crabona into the reverse elastico to give him that little bit of space on the byline. Again, double tap pass into the box. And somehow Griezmann, I think it was, just managing to squirm it over the line.
Just thought it was going to be too ambitious, Richard. It goes to show, one mistake costs you a game, it costs you a win. Because this one has to go into golden goal now.
Will there be one more chance?
And there you go, golden goal will be needed. That is game one done and dusted. Give us a few minutes so these two can connect back up and get straight back into another tie, Richard. But you're 2 minutes, 2 in-game minutes away from a massive win there, and one mistake, one loss of possession. Ball goes out to Ousmane Dembele. He did really well with the skill moves to sort of be unpredictable and to just sort of whip that ball into the box. Next thing you know, Griezmann was there, and we leave the game 1-1, and Michael's thinking, how have I not won that game?
And that right there, you just have to... Look, it might be time management, it might be time wasting, it might be game management, whatever you want to call it. You just need to, if you're Michael Fisher, 88th minute, when you get the ball in the middle of the pitch, you look wide. You look to the wide areas. Get it out where you can't be hurt if you lose possession. Give yourself a little bit of room, because It were literally 2 passes. Michael, he lost the ball. 2 passes later, JabGT is in with his wide player doing the skill moves inside the box. 2 passing sequences later, and there's a goal. It just shows how quickly the game can seesaw and how quickly the game can turn and twist down this rabbit hole where it gets like the 85th minute. You don't know where the game's going to go. So you have to take it into your own hands. You have to take the game by the scruff of the neck and say, look, this isn't going to happen. I'm going to take it into the wide areas, keep the ball, keep possession, and make sure that I do not concede.
Well, here we go then. 90 minutes couldn't separate them. 1-1. The match was concluded in the end. The question is, who's going to score this goal? Will it be Michael Fisher or JabGT? Kits will be exactly the same. So Michael Fisher from left to right representing Bateson 87. That's JabGT of G2 Esports kicking from right to left. An 88th minute equaliser from JabGT allowed this game to go into golden goal. This is to get your first one on the board and to join AJ3's Jablet at the top of the pile in this group. As we said, it's a group format today. No knockouts. Whoever comes top of the pile wins the £1,500 and will be the champion for the UK country finals.
Is it going to be a quick finish or will it be a slow burn? That's the question in this golden goal scenario.
I mean, golden goal as well, Richard. It's a weird one. How do you approach golden goal? In terms of, you don't want to sort of keep yourself too open, but do you want to go forward and do you want to throw everything forward? Chance towards the back post, and that's the goal.
That's it.
You didn't even need to go to the back post, Richard, because Kylian Mbappe was there in the 6-yard box. And if there's one way to steal a game and one way to turn a game on its head, JabGT of G2 Esports, take a bow, my friend. 10 minutes into it, the man with the most unbelievable turnaround at about 13 minutes if you put together those last couple of minutes in both of those games. You had 2 minutes left to save the game. We go to golden goal, and there's the match winner.
I'm just watching the goal back here now. A whipped ball into the box from Ben Yedder. Literally just drove it in to the 6-yard box. Kylian Mbappe first on the scene, poking it past the goalkeeper, and a massive golden goal winner out of the depths. Somehow he manages to salvage this result and puts him 3 points top of the table alongside Jablet, and all to play for now with 2 games down, with 4 games left to go. Even now, it starts into the territory of must-win game for the 2 players at the bottom of the table. We have to tell you as well, it will go down to goal difference if 2 players are on the same points. So these next couple of matches could be very instrumental in the tournament and table format.
I was going to say, if it is about golden goal, Richard, sort of golden goal difference, they're going to be on equal sort of standing at the moment with AJ3's pro for the day in Jablet. And of course, we're looking at G2 Esports' JabGT. I mean, it's a little bit confusing. Jablet, JabGT. We'll try and keep the difference between the two as best we can. We'll have a look at how those results have affected the group standings, as we did say. I mean, it was a massive result. And this is how things look, Richard. 2 out of 6 games have been played for today. Our next game will be Michael against MHay. Obviously, that is 2 players that played in the E-Premier League. And as you said, these are must-win games because if you're Mitch, or if you're anyone, I should say, you've only got 2 games left. 2 games against your other people, your other players in the group. And if you haven't played against either Jablet or G2, you're thinking, okay, those guys have already got points on the board. They've already got wins on the board. They're 2 players that I really don't want to face up against.
And if, look, this next game, Michael versus MHay, the loser of this pretty much is out of the tournament because they're not going to be able to finish top with how the rest of the games are going. We've got the 2 bottom players facing against the 2 top players. I believe we are ready to get straight into that match between Michael and Mitch Hayward right away. No rest here on the tournament's pro for a day. AJ3, Bateson, #United, and G2. One of these 4 teams will be the victor. One of these 4 players will be winning £1,500.
Yeah, of course, there is money as well for second, third, and fourth. Everyone that has got to this stage will be rewarded in some way or another with prize money. But I mean, second place is, you can't sell a second place to anyone, Richard. It's to win or nothing, and to leave this tournament being the champion of the pro for the day, and potentially, as you said, earning yourself a place at that organisation or with that influencer, content creator, no matter where you are in the world, whether it's across Brazil, Spain, Germany, France, in the UK or USA, which we will see later on tonight. Our next game, though, between two Premier League competitors. One of them played for Norwich and Michael Fisher. On the other side of that, for MHay, he played for Sheffield United. Two players that had very different runs in the tournament. Mitch sort of went one more step further, suffered a couple of defeats against Fredo of Crystal Palace, who even came so close to making the finals in the end. Also on the other side of that, of course, for Michael, it wasn't a great start. Unfortunately, it was two defeats back to back, and that was the end of his road. One of those coming against a grand finalist in the Premier League in FaZe TAS of Arsenal. But you're never going to get an easy game, and I'm sure those sort of tournaments just give you that LAN experience you want.
Absolutely, yeah. Also, it gives you an unbelievable experience to play against players like TAS, players who are formidable FIFA players who have been doing it for 3, 4, 5 years, who have been grand finalists, who have been regional and European champions in the past. And look, I always say, you don't lose, you learn.
Well. We are near that halfway point in our PlayStation 4 Pro for the Day tournament. A couple of people might be confused in the chat. I'm seeing someone saying, when's Bateson or AJ3 playing, or maybe Spencer Owen from #United. Those guys aren't playing in the tournament, guys. It's Pro for a Day, so it's giving players and fans the opportunity to represent the content creators, the football teams, the esports organisations such as G2 #, of course, AJ3 and Bateson87. I'm sure Bateson and AJ, these guys will be watching and supporting from a distance, but unfortunately, they don't get to play as much as they probably wanted to. Unfortunately, it's about giving those other players a chance to play under them for a day.
Just having a look to see if there's been any changes in the team lineup here for either of these two. Doesn't look like it. Kylian Mbappe sort of deployed out wide there by the looks of it, actually. It's now coming further infield. What would your team of choice be, Brandon, if you were to play in this tournament?
I think we always sort of have a chat about this, don't we? I think what we should say is, if it's not France, who do we want to be individually? I think I said previously, I think PSG, I know you're a big fan of them, Richard. If we get a chance to go back onto your webcam shortly, we'll see just a couple of PSG faces around your room, whether it's players that have played for them in Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Neymar, Mbappe. You're a big fan of those three. So I think PSG deserve an honourable mention, but to be fair, even a team like Barcelona, that a couple of players use, more the US-based pros, chance here doesn't come to anything. It's just something about Barca. I think Barca are quite a good overall a well-rounded team, I should say.
See, I'm not really sold on Barcelona, to be honest, as a pick. I think certainly PSG, yes, I'm there. I would maybe even go as far as to say Piemonte Calcio, I think I would rather use over Barcelona. I think Barca are a little weak in midfield. Sergio Busquets, not really a FIFA favourite. Yes, Frenkie de Jong's fantastic, but Arturo Vidal, not an ultimate team, not really too usable. Wissam Ben Yedder looking to turn past Clement Lenglet, not on that occasion.
So the one thing that I really love about this game, Rich, you've got two players that are sort of both on that pedestal at the moment of one event, one big win away from really announcing themselves into the competitive scene. I know we've seen Mitch Hayward's name pop up a few times more than we have Michael Fisher, but the fact that both was in the Premier League, if you don't know the Premier League, it's a great tournament that is based within the Global Series. The finals of that, of course, are being played actually today, where £40,000 is on the line. So it says enough of how big sort of other tournaments are in terms of giving players experience coming into the PlayStation Tournaments Pro for a day. I mean, it was lucky that these two didn't actually face up in the bracket, because if they did, we would have had a little bit more to talk about in terms of a previous potential matchup. Here's Mbappe. This is Michael Fisher, who's just come off the back of that defeat, Richard. How's he feeling right now? Because he was 1-0 up, 88 minutes on the clock, conceded. Next thing you know, went to extra time, and it was a sort of heartbreaking golden goal, so I should say.
I mean, it's all about just trying to have short-term memory, trying to get that result out of your head straight away, move forward, get past it. If you can go into this game with a fresh mindset and a positive mindset, I think you're on to a winner.
Kante back to Dembele. MHay were trying to build into an attack. Let's not forget, both of these two have come off the back of defeat, so this is a must-win game. It literally goes without saying. Here's Dembele still looking to cut it back. Michael Fisher looking to get the breakthrough in this time. Could he get it? Dembele can't find the feet of Mbappe, and back to the drawing board. He will have to go. If you don't know who this game is between, if you haven't been following the Pro for the Day format of the tournament, it's Bateson 87. Technically up against #United, obviously both with their own pros. Unfortunately, both without a win so far, Richard. So yeah, it really is a must-win, isn't it? Otherwise, you're going to be 0-2, and the best you're getting at most probably is third place.
Yeah, I think it might be able to squeak second, but it's all going to be about how the other results go. Yeah, you've got to hope results go your way. First place will certainly not be in the equation. If you win this game and you win your final match, you've got a chance. But you need to hope that goal difference also is in your favour. Do you think we'll see someone win all 3 games?
If not in UK, I think we will. Somewhere across the other 5 countries. Here's Dembele. Michael Fisher dancing in the box. Mbappe back to goal. Scoop turn away from his man. Clement Lenglet, right place, right time. And that will do us for half-time in this time. That's a 3rd game now, Richard. Half-time, it's been 0-0. We're yet to see a goal within the opening first 45 minutes in any of the matches so far. Why do you think that is?
It's just nerves, I think. Nerves and tentative energy and sort of nervous energy. The players will know this is a must-win game as well. So it's not like they are sort of not playing to their top level. And look at this change right here. He's going attacking, constant pressure, 4-1-2-1-2. He knows that this game has to be a win. It's a must-win game right here. This is a very, very audacious change from Michael.
One thing you've also seen on that, Richard, sorry just to pop and interrupt you, is that got Matuidi in at fullback. There's Michael. Kicking from Letter right now in this second half. On the other side of that, it's normally Tolisso in at fullback. Great to see these guys are all sort of on the same wavelength in backing defensive midfielders into those right-back areas. And Hayward's certainly been the better of the two and certainly been on top. Can we see a goal? Can we see a breakthrough? Griezmann into the goalkeeper's hand to Hugo Lloris there. And believe it or not, I don't know if we'll see it today, Richard. I don't think anyone would be sort of, whether I use the word silly enough or not, to play out Areola as the starting goalie instead of Hugo Lloris. Because believe it or not, it has happened in the Open Series. I don't think we'll see it today in the Pro for a day. But again, there's people out there that back him. I mean, what was it? It's like 6 ratings between the two.
Yeah, we're talking about it earlier in the broadcast. Areola is a goalkeeper that can be used. Ousmane Dembele inside the box here for Michael, just bundled over by Rafa Varane, and referee waves that away. But I do certainly agree with Areola. He is a very good goalkeeper. But when Lloris is in the team, you sort of have to go with Hugo Lloris, the French captain.
Pogba. Back to Kante. Patient build up from MHay. It's an even better save. For a split second, I thought Lloris put that into his own goal. Long ball over the top. That's an audacious ball over the top for Mbappe to try and just make life difficult at the back for Clement Lenglet. Eventually does go back to the goalkeeper.
And we're in that sort of twilight zone time. That's what I'm going to call it, Brandon, where you don't know what's going to happen between the 50th and 70th minute. Are we going to see another goal in this 20-minute period? Step into the goal zone.
The golden time, Richard. 50th to 70th minute. Is he going to live up to the hype again? It's a couple of minutes for a chance to come in. MHay. Chance. Oh, for a split second, that was going to be the ball that fell to the feet of Mbappe, and could have been looking towards finally having the breakthrough. We have seen golden goal already today, so that would not be a surprise. I've seen a couple of people in the chat saying this could be like a no-goaler or a stalemate, to put it into better terms. Griezmann. Back to Ben Yedder. Mbappe. Oh, we're just leaving the goal zone, Richard. Into the pause menu will go, just over that left top corner from Mbappe there. It was a great idea. He nearly got it out of his feet, didn't he?
I'm just looking here. Kingsley Coleman, for me, has to be introduced. Antoine Griezmann on that left-hand side. You see his stats in the bottom right corner. 80 pace. If he does hover over Kingsley Coleman, we'll see the pace stat of the Champions League winner. 94 pace.
You know what that means, though, Richard? It's time for the triple substitution change for #United's MHay.
Yep. We are watching Michael's POV here, and he's just contemplating his substitutions, and it's I don't think going to be anybody in the end coming on for him. Unless he did bring on Kingsley Coleman. We'll see in the top left corner. Coleman for Dembele there. And the three substitutions coming in from Mitch. Fekir for Griezmann. Mendy for Hernandez.
The last time, though, he made that change, Richard, it was actually Mendy that got pickpocketed on that left-hand side. And next thing you know, MHay unfortunately did lose his opening game of today. Here we go. Are we going to see a late winner? Or will we need golden goal yet again to decide?
Does look a little slow at the minute, I have to say, for MHay. Certainly not playing to his full potential, I have to say. We've seen him play much better in the PlayStation Open Series.
Maybe it's nerves, maybe it's the fact he's playing under #United. It's a huge organisation to play under. But you sort of listed off earlier, Richard, types of players that have played under #United. Some real big names. The last couple of years, ever since they moved into the esports scene, and remember the Game Academy, that was where they discovered previous #Harry. Which now moved on to Fnatic. Eight minutes left. Will we see a goal? We want to see more goals. They've been lacking today. You understand why, though? There's some serious prize money on the line here. You've got to be at your best. You can't be making mistakes. You've got to be clinical in front of goal. Will we see one more chance? Nabil Fekir off the bench, fresh. Couple of minutes left. Pogba, Coman, MHay. This is him. This is his last chance of this match potentially. Or will we need golden goal again? Pogba. There's a cutback. Coman. Can just pull out Rafa Varane from that normal central defensive area. Got to be quicker. Got to speed up in these sort of areas. Head-to-head's naturally just a slobber gameplay. Back to Mbappe. Could that be the chance? It's a great save from Lloris. And on the rebound, be able to gobble up the danger.
I thought for a second, Brandon, that were going to be the chance. Lloris way off his line. And he's just paused it there, has Mitch. The clock 1:55. So Michael's going to get to play this throw-in out if he goes forward. The referee won't blow full time unless the ball goes backwards. As long as it goes forwards, he will get the chance to play out this attack.
Kingsley Coman has just been brought on the pitch as well, Richard. So
That's
his fresh legs, unfortunately, won't last for too long and won't mean much in the end. It's another 0-0. It's our first 0-0, I should say, of the day. It's another golden goal here at the PS4 Tournament's Pro 4 a Day country finals here in the United Kingdom, Richard. 0-0 the scoreline, nothing to separate the two. Just please don't be 90 minutes of golden goal.
I don't think we will. I think we'll get a winning goal. I think someone will score a goal here. Look, they have to. It's a must-win game for both of these two players. They find themselves rooted at the bottom of the table. Played 1-0 wins, 1 loss after one game has been played by all of their players. This is the sort of two players at the bottom of the table. Coming up, we've got the two players at the top of the table between JabGT and Sun 442, aka Jablet. That game going to be coming up as soon as this has finished. Where do you think it's going to go?
Oh, I can't give you a name, but I'll give you a minute of the goal.
Ooh,
18 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to go
Ben
8.
Yedder.
I think it's going to be an early finish.
Who's scoring the goal?
Mbappe.
Only time will tell. Golden goal in front of us now. MHay coming forward in that blue of France again. Runs it out for a goal kick, and Michael Fisher representing Bateson 87, trying to do everything he can to get a win registered. That's what it's all about. Of course, we can see the Twitch chat as well. Let us know a minute that you think there could be a goal in. Let's see if anyone gets it right.
Well, for me, it's got to come in the next
That ball's got to get forward, mate.
minute.
Such a tough one, golden goal. You don't want to leave yourself too open, but at the same time, it's a question of you want to throw numbers forward and sort of really go for it. As you said, these guys know exactly what is on the line. And one of these guys loses, I think first place is out the window 100%. Can't lose two, and hope your last game's going to climb you up the table. Maybe if results go your way, you could get second, as you did allude to. Long ball forward from the goal kick for MHay. When will this goal come? And which way will it go? Mbappe. This is Michael Fisher. Hernandez with it still. Can he find that cut back inside? Mbappe was there, and lucky enough, Varane was just in front of him, pushed away the PSG forward.
Your minute of choice is coming up, Brandon. Are you confident?
I think at this point we better forget our predictions.
This could be it, though. Slow build up.
And Hayward. Back to Ousmane Dembele. It was just too heavy, wasn't it?
I think maybe if that had been a double tap, potentially could have got him in.
After both losing their first game, one of these has to get that win. Chance. What a defensive interception that is from Clement Lenglet.
Right place, right time again for Clement Lenglet.
In fact, he didn't sort of dive into it, Richard. It was a sort of easy 5-yard pass away, but that pass was even better than interception. Dembele. Kante, lovely ball through. Is that heavy? No, it's not. He's onside, Ben Yedder. Such a guessing game when he gets on the ball. Does he go left? Does he go right? Still goalless, and how long is this one going to go for? Golden goal. A third of 6 games today. We've still got plenty of action to bring to you. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing so far, there's still plenty more to come.
Are we going to go into half-time with a level game? Surely not.
I hope I didn't curse it when I said please not a 90 minutes of golden goal. It's happened before when, if you're a hardcore FIFA esports fan, you'll remember the days of overload. Ball side, how's it going to last for? Oh, Varane. That was the chance. Ben Yedder just let the shot sort of come off that left boot. That was an unbelievable opportunity, Richard. Lovely long ball forward. Is MHay now? Is he onside with Ben Yedder? Yes, he is. Gets to that area and just sort of gets stuck where all these white shirts suddenly appear around him. We haven't seen a first-class MHay performance today.
Oh, without doubt, we've seen him play so much better in other tournaments. If you are just joining us, we're in a golden goal scenario. The winner of this game can still potentially finish top in the group. The loser of this game mathematically cannot finish top.
That is why there's so much on the line. It's just so hard and so unpredictable which way this game is going to go. Kante. Back to Hernandez. Still with Mbappe, MHay, last chance of the half maybe here, just rushed it. Angle wasn't there, half-time between the two in golden goal, Richard. Still yet to see a single goal.
I think you might have jinxed us, Brandon. Both of these two just equaling each other out at every opportunity. You attack, I attack, you defend, I defend. There's last-ditch tackles have been premium in this opening 45 minutes, but as we are coming into half-time, after what we had, 145 minutes of FIFA, 135 minutes of FIFA, we're yet to see a goal.
And that's because these two, one maybe haven't been able to create as many chances as they'd have liked to. But on top of that, they're both very nervous, it goes without saying, and also they're just cancelling each other out a lot of the time. No one wants to lose, of course, any game of FIFA, but no one wants to lose this game, because if you lose it, as you said, mathematically, there's no chance, there's no way. In all honesty, you're going to get anywhere near being top of the pile and walking away with £1,500. Which way is this tie going to go? Is it going to be concluded now? MHay, chance, needs to be composed. Ben Yedder back to Ousmane Dembele, but still the chance is there. Theo Hernandez with an awful heavy touch. MHay still just about keeps possession. Pogba. Griezmann now. Patient build up from Hayward. What a ball that could be to Ben.
Oh,
Yeah, it's trickled into the back of the net. And then Hayward. That is an absolute lifeline in this tournament. A lifeline.
How on earth has that just trickled in? Honestly, it went in slow motion. It went in slow motion into the back of the net. Mitch Hayward keeps his tournament alive with the ball going about 3 miles an hour over the line.
I think it must have taken a deflection off the defender's leg or something on that. And the fact the keeper still didn't get to it is just tough to see for not MHay. What I was going to say for Michael Fisher, because he's just come off the back of that game where he lost in golden goal. He's just lost in golden goal again by that goal. It's tough to take. It's a bitter pill to swallow. And unfortunately for Bateson 87, his pro hasn't been able to just kick off as he would have wanted to today. But #United, that is a lifeline for you and your pro and Hayward. I mean, it all comes down to seeing how the other games play out. Let's have a look at how the table looks and how that result has changed things, Richard. What's it done to the bracket?
Well, what that means, Michael played two losses. It's impossible for him to finish top, as the next game we're going to be seeing is AJ3 up against G2. It's going to be first versus second. One of those two players will go to 2 wins, meaning that in the final game of the day, JabGT versus Hayward, we could potentially see somebody claiming second. Look, there's an opportunity. There is an opportunity for Jablet in the next 2 matches to win the entire tournament, to finish top. He's playing back-to-back games now. He's playing 4th and 5th. There's a chance if he wins these next 2 games to win the tournament outright. 9 points out of 9. Nobody can catch him.
Yeah, no one can catch him indeed. I mean, the most goals we've seen in the game at the moment is 2 goals to 1. That, of course, came over that golden goal period. But this is going to be an interesting one. This is between the 2 winners now. So JabGT, of course, up against Jablet of AJ3. Winner of that will be top of the pile, will be going sort of flawless. They'll be unbeaten. They would have not lost a game yet. And they'll be coming into that 3rd and final matchup, which, of course, is going to be a really, really good one. That one will be between Jablet and Hayward. So that's going to be a really tough game, actually, because these two, you'd have to say, have got the most LAN experience, have got the most sort of competitive FIFA experience over the last couple of years, last couple of sort of cycles, game cycles, so to speak. So that plans to be a really good one, depending, though, of course, on what happens in that game. And, I mean, are we going to need golden goal again? Fingers crossed it's not going to be a 0-0.
I don't think we are. I think we're going to see a winning goal. I think we could potentially see Jablet, aka Sun TZU 442, win his next 2 games and win the entire thing. I think he could win these next 2 games. He's already beaten Mitch in the first game. He's then got these 2 matches coming up, and I think potentially he could win it outright.
Yeah, it would be a solid statement, Richard, to be set to the rest of the competitors. If you don't know how this PS4 tournament's pro for the day is working, it's not just us here in the United Kingdom with tournaments. We've got currently tournaments running all over the world at this moment in time. Of course, Germany, France, and Spain is in action. Later on today will be Brazil, and then we'll be back again, myself, Brandon Swift, and Richard Buckley, for the United States tournament later tonight. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing and you're enjoying, of course, all of the action so far, stay tuned, stay connected, and we will be, of course, taking you through all of the action throughout today, the 28th of August here. And Richard, we're over the halfway line now in terms of the matches we've got. We're going to sort of the first time in today's tournament where could be a bit of breathing space. There could be a bit of movement in the table.
Well, one of these 2 will go outright top of the table after this matchup. Who will it be, though? You mentioned United States. That's coming up later this evening. The 4 teams that are going to be participating there. We've got Misfits Gaming, Team Liquid, Complexity Gaming, and Team Envy, all in action later on this evening.
There's so many huge teams and esports organisations all involved from all over the world. Here we go then. Sun TZU 442 is known as AK Jablet. Here us do refer to him as that, representing AJ3. It was a 1-0 victory for him against Michael Fisher in the first game of the day. Score that first win. Can he carry on? Can he keep the ball rolling, the momentum ball rolling? And will be him kicking from left to right. JabGT, the golden goal winner of what was a heartbreak moment. I should say for Michael Fisher. It was Michael Fisher that played against JabGT to kick things off. That game, Richard, 88th minute equaliser from JabGT, then snatched the winner in goal to goal. 11 minutes on the clock. Mbappe, the goal scorer that time. He must be full of adrenaline and full of excitement after that game. Chance now early on. Could be Mbappe to break the deadlock. Did he need the extra scoop turn? Did Jablet? I'm not too sure if he did.
It's all about the small details, the small margins in FIFA esports. Who's going to be the one to take that extra touch? Who's going to be the one to do that extra scoop turn? Necessary or unnecessary? It's been all Jablet, though, hasn't it?
From Jablet so far, it certainly has been. Jablet building into this time. Just trying to find that final pass for Richard, that extra skill move, bit of trickery in the box. To fall JabGT into diving into a tackle. You're probably thinking, why are France being used? France are the most dominant team, so it proves to be in the head-to-head tournament formats we've seen. These are why pros love it, and I think the problem you do if you don't use France, Richard, you sort of question yourself in certain scenarios, like, you know, if I did have Mbappe on the pitch there, if I did have Hugo Lloris, if I did have Clement Lenglet, don't want to get into that mind frame. So a lot of the time, these guys will just all play as the exact same team because then there is no arguments, there's no excuses. It's a pretty much fair playing field.
It's like any other video game, Brandon. There's stronger things, there's stronger items to use in every other game. Why would, in a fighting game, you use one particular player, or there's like a meta? There's 3 or 4 fighters that are better. In FPS games, why does everybody use a certain selection of guns? Why do people use this submachine gun over all the other submachine guns, or this assault rifle or all the other assault rifles? Because they are the best. And if you don't use it, you're at a disadvantage. This is why you're seeing France versus France versus France versus France. Because France are the best team, and if you don't use France in a cash tournament, you're just a little bit silly. You're playing up for money, up for grabs, and you're playing with a disadvantage. It's as simple as that. Unless you have a mastery over a team, PSG, Manchester City, or you're a die-hard fan and you'd feel betrayed if you didn't use that particular team, then go for it. But if you're a neutral and you're just wanting to get better at FIFA and you're wanting to earn some prize money and potentially get a contract for a professional team, you're going to use France.
That's pretty much as simple as it sounds, Richard. That is why France are the team to beat. And also, could be another reason why it's been so hard to see as many goals as we would like to, because there's the same strengths and there's the same weaknesses on the field. Jablet just silences me there. 31 minutes on the clock. We have a breakthrough. We have our first goal scored in the first 45 minutes of any game we've seen today.
And who else would it be but Kylian Mbappe? Great finish from the Parisian. It was just that slow build-up again, wasn't it? On the edge of the box. Into Kylian Mbappe. Turned his man with that little standing fake shot inside the box. And then bottom corner. Rifled in.
I think the Twitch chat, I should say, everyone that's watching on YouTube, I should say, is thanking you for that goal. We want to see more goals. We want to see more attack in FIFA. Yes, the standard has been to the next level. These guys have been unbelievable defensively, and I mean, you don't get 97% passing accuracy for nothing. There's a reason for that, and that's because these guys have been so good on the ball. That level above your ordinary player. Lovely through ball down that left-hand side. JabGT does well to drop the shoulder of Ousmane Dembele. Unfortunately, goes up for a goal kick. 5 minutes away before half-time interval here. Whoever wins this will be top of the pile Not just on goal difference, but on the wins they would have been able to achieve. There are 2 wins and 0 defeats to their name. This is really well done by Dembele, that. Pulls out. Karim Tolisso, completely out of that right-back position. Maybe that's something that Jablet has stolen off MHay. Putting the Bayern Munich midfielder into the right-back area. Clearly he believes it's a viable option.
We're going to get another goal before half-time. Doesn't look like it between either of these two. JabGT with the final chance of the half, but the referee is on blows up there for half-time. And I'm shook, Brandon. We've had a goal inside the first half of a game.
I mean, yeah, we've been waiting a while, haven't we? We've been waiting across 3 individual games to see that. Mbappe, though, does get the breakthrough for AJ3's Jablet. As we said, a really strong start for him so far in the game. He's not needed to go to golden goal. The only player that hasn't needed to go to a golden goal scenario as of yet. We can see some stats at half-time. Rich possession, so passing accuracy slightly a little bit lower. Not all the chances in the world, but this is the sort of level of clinicalness that these guys will provide, including Jablet with that goal from Mbappe. It did come in the first 30 minutes. We jump back into the second half now with it all to play for. Winner of this will be top of the group. Literally, Richard, either one win away or, you know, praying that maybe goal difference goes on their side for picking up £1,500.
Big opportunity for Jablet, and I think he knows that he's in the driving seat right now, isn't he? Look, you win this game, even 6 points could technically be enough if goal difference goes in your favour. If he wins this game 2 or 3-0, even 6 points could be enough with goal difference, Brandon, to finish top. Obviously, he wants to go 9 from 9.
Chance. Ball back inside. Forget that a minute. Because there's an equaliser for JabGT. He's absolutely loving these whip balls across the box, Richard. Just fires them. That's the double tap pass that is often so good and so used in Ultimate Team, in major tournaments. We're seeing exactly it in the PS4 Tournament Pro for a day. And that's why Griezmann makes it 1-1 for JabGT.
And he sort of stitched himself up a little bit. He tried playing out of the back. He went to dink it long, did Jablet. The possession turned over straight away. I'm asking question marks over Hugo Lloris. He got something on that, but it just simply wasn't enough. And back to a tied game. And look, we were talking about Jablet winning it outright. JabGT could win it outright. If he wins this game and then wins the last game of the day against MHay, he could even go on and do it. It's wide open. It is wide open.
Here's another chance, straight down the other end for Jablet. Across the shoulder of Mbappe. Interesting to know, Richard, as well, about G2 Esports' representative. JabGT, of course, his full name is Juan Alberto Bernardo, one of the lowest ranked players coming into this tournament. He's still foot verified. Just ranked outside the top 1,000 players on the PS4. Did represent himself in the ELA League. Didn't get to those final stages, but still, I mean, you're at an even playing field. We're at head-to-head. It's a different sort of game to master. Back to goal, Jablet. One more pass. That would have been perfect. Did he overdo it? Lloris off his line. Lloris with a huge save out for the corner.
I don't think he overdid it. I just think maybe a finesse shot. Just took it round the goalkeeper there. The power shot from that close range. Lloris spread himself extremely well.
What a chance that was. That could have been 2-1. For Sun Tizu 442, aka Jablet of AJ3. So whoever wins this game will be top of the group. Patient build up, 20 minutes left. We're in that golden time again, Richard, that we often talk about usually for being famous of goals. This is the time to prove it.
Yeah, we missed the goal zone, didn't we? Between 50 and 70. Again, stealing the ball back just inside his own half there. Is JabGT.
Ben Yedder pushes away the defender, and fortunate enough, Lenglet was there. Just some sort of block, some sort of interception. Otherwise, that would have been an easy finish. A routine finish in the end. Coman. Tries to just accelerate his fake shot round the defender. 14 minutes here. We'll go back into the team management and we'll have a look at a couple of changes.
Got to be Coman.
The French team always does offer you Kingsley Coman off the bench. Always is sort of the viable option. 94 pace, I think you said.
Yeah.
Does have an...
Even Fekir at central cam, I think is quite a nice change. Bringing off Griezmann, bringing on a fresh central attacking midfielder. Very similar to Griezmann. Maybe doesn't have the stats in the creative areas that Griezmann has, such as sort of short passing, long passing, finishing, long shot power. But in terms of the pace, skill moves and weak foot, he certainly can compete with Antoine Griezmann.
Be interested to see what's changed on the other side of that. For Jablet. As we said before, we've seen it twice already. Will we need more golden goal here? In our UK country finals for Pro for a day. So many nail-biting finishes to so many games. Sort of hate to be in the position of these players, actually, for some of the games they've been through. Some real tight golden goal ones. Pogba. Griezmann with it now. Just 5 minutes left. Jablet's got to get that
what a pass.
ball. He does find it. Again, it's...
That weren't necessary.
Sometimes when he adds these fake shots into it, Richard, into the mix, it just sort of messes up the natural flow of the player's movement.
I don't think that one was necessary, to be honest. That fake shot there in the final third. A beautiful driven pass into Griezmann's feet. But I just don't think the fake shot inside the box was essential. That's going to go anywhere. Oh.
For a split second there, Richard, Ousmane Dembele was nearly the hero. Great chances at either end. Let's have a feeling that maybe we are going to golden goal unless Jablet can snatch it. In these next 20 in-game seconds, we've got literally 20 seconds on the dot. Free kick 35 metres out.
We dinked in, surely.
Let's see what he tries to do. Griezmann's over it. Just whipped into the box, and Richard, 3 out of 3 games in a row. We are going to golden goal once again to decide who will be top of the pile in this UK country finals. And I mean, there was chances either end, there was late chances, but at times you understand why Jablet is using these fake shots, these accelerated skill moves, these simple sort of scoop turns at times, but there's a time and a place. And I think naturally as a FIFA player, you expect players to move around in certain ways. At times, maybe it was a little bit unlucky, but as you said, at times, maybe it wasn't needed.
I think the first one where he did the scoop turn with Mbappe, that's a great save from Lloris. I think the actual finish itself, if he'd had a little bit more time to look back at it, maybe even a ball roll past the goalkeeper and then slot it into the empty net. But the one at the end there with Antoine Griezmann, as soon as that comes into your feet and he takes that first touch away from the player, I think you've got to hit that. You've just got to take a strike at goal. And he then did the additional fake shot, and it just sort of gave the goalkeeper and the defender enough time to get back, get something in front of the ball. But another fascinating game between these two players. It's been sort of end-to-end FIFA, a very entertaining match. I'd probably say more entertaining than the previous games that we've seen, just because these two, there's mistakes at the back. The attacking prowess is certainly there, and the creative in the final third, but the previous matches went to golden goal because there was no mistakes at the back. All the players defended really well. Whereas in this game, I think it's been missed chances that the reason we go into golden goal.
I think on top of that as well, Rich, we must say is that this is deja vu for JabGT, because he's been here before. He's been in golden goal. He's been in some tough games. This is the first golden goal of the Pro for a Day PS4 tournament for Jablet. I'm sure it won't make too much of a difference, but whoever wins this, whoever just provides that piece of magic or makes that awful mistake, could be costing themselves a chance to be a winner here, to be 2-0 in the group, to be top of the pile, and to be about 19 game minutes, Richard, away from being the champion for the UK country finals and for their esports organisation, their football team, or content creator. Will it be AJ3's Jablet or G2 Esports' JabGT going 2-0 in this group? Here we go, golden goal in front of us now. We've seen a golden goal that went into the second half. We've seen a golden goal that was done and dusted in just 10 minutes. What are you feeling now, Richard? What sort of golden goal are we in for?
I think we're going to get quite a quick finish in this one. I think it's going to be an early goal and a quick finish.
Be the same colours again. Jablet kicking from left to right here with the first chance of the game. Dancing around the box, back to Mbappe. It's that same little fake shot he goes for. Just doesn't give him enough pace, though, to get around the defender. That's the problem he's facing again. Kante, of all people, goes for a half drag back. Wanted to play for Mbappe for the first time. JabGT will get on the ball, but only for a couple of seconds. Tolisso. Back to Kante. Still a chance. Let's just pop the ball around the box. At the moment, it's been all Jablet in these opening 8 minutes. Mbappe. I want him in the centre, not out wide. Same goes with Ousmane Dembele. It's easier said than done. Big switch of play.
It's a nice switch. Just to relieve the pressure a little bit, open up the flanks. A lot of goals in competitive FIFA come down the wings, come down the wing play. Nice little elastico there, just defended efficiently, shall I say, from Jablet.
I mean, it makes you think, Rich, if this wasn't golden goal and we saw extra time and penalties, some of the games that we may have seen, I think we actually would have seen at least a penalty shootout by now. Throw-in played Shaw, that's well done. Mbappe's too keen and way offside. Sloppy mistake there from Jablet. JabGT has not been able to get out of his own half so far. Yeah, that's got to change if you're in golden goal. Because eventually that defence will crack open and the gaps will start to show.
Yeah, it only takes one as well. One chance, one mistake, one moment of brilliance is all it needs for one of these two players to solidify their place at the top of the table.
Could it be golden goal magic again for JabGT? Loves golden goal. He loves late drama. That was his only chance he created there, but kept us guessing for a second before he may have been able to do. Kante, Pogba having a bit of a dance on the ball, having a lot of time as well. Theo Hernandez.
Great tackle from Varane, stepping out, winning the ball back, and it just seems as though all the 50-50s, all the second bouncers in this sort of first 25, 30 minutes have all gone to Jablet.
Chance now, Jablet. Could this be the winner in golden goal? Back to Dembele! And there it is. 27 minutes on the clock. It will be AJ3's Jablet who books us place, I should say, at the top of the pile. He'll be looking down at everyone at the moment, knowing that he's just one game away from being today's champion. And who knows, maybe more than just a pro for a day. Could be a pro for a year if he continues with this type of form. And I mean, he had the luck, the rub of the green last time out did JabGT. Unfortunately, this time it wasn't to be, Richard. He'll be now 1-on-1. One defeat, one win, and he'll be going into his final game praying that a win might be enough alongside some golden goal, some goal difference to still win. You know, who knows? He still could. If Jablet loses his next game and loses by quite a heavy defeat, everything's still possible.
Look, that goal right there, it came from Rafael Varane winning the ball back on the halfway line. He squeezed high up the pitch, stole the ball back, and then quick in the final third, made sure it bounced back to Ousmane Dembele, who fired it in at the near post. And let's have a look at what that does to the league table right now. We'll see how it has affected it. Jablet, top of the pile, 2 wins, 0 losses. He's won both of his matches, 1-0 and 2-1. And now he takes on Michael to win the tournament, to put himself top of the pile on 3 wins. Nobody can catch him. It's in his own hands right now. Top versus bottom to win £1,500.
And to sort of recorrect myself there, of course, he did play against MHay in the first game of the day. You would honestly say that's a tie that favours him massively, because if you look at the games that Michael Fisher's had to play, he's had a bit of hard luck against him, and mentally going into that final game, he knows that he can't win.
But he can stop.
He can stop a win, but
yes,
he knows that the best he might be able to get is a 3rd place finish, if that. And again, that's nothing against Michael. We know what he's been able to achieve this year. Played for Norwich in the E-Premier League and obviously qualified for this tournament, which goes without saying is still a huge achievement. But he knows now, obviously, he can't win. But if you're in that position, Richard, are you thinking, right, I can still cause a bit of disruption in the group? Or are you thinking, all right, I'm going to play about 60% and I'm not too bothered?
Look, we don't know also Michael Fisher. We don't know the relationships of these players. They might have an absolute rivalry, Michael Fisher and Jablet. You just don't know. Do you know what I mean? They might dislike each other. They might think, look, this is my time to stick it to him. This is my time to say, yeah, you're not winning this tournament. One of the other 2 players are going to play out for a win. Because if Michael beats Jablet here in this 5th game, this is Jablet's final match. He can't play any more FIFA after this. You're then going to have JabGT and MHay play it out in the final game. If one of those 2 players win 4-0, 5-0, and get that goal difference up, they finish top on goal difference. You're going to have 2 players on 6 points. It is in Jablet's hands. He can finish top of the table. Nobody can catch him on 9 points, but he has to beat Michael in this game.
Yeah, it certainly is in his hands. But to be honest, it's only a 2-goal difference at the moment, which, again, I know when you're playing best-of-1 games, and a lot of these games have been really tight. And if you were looking at how the games have gone and the sort of start they have, I mean, 2 goals would be enough right now. But we've seen games that get sort of throwaway. If you're 2 or 3-0 down in the first half, your sort of head goes out of the game. Next thing you know, you're conceding 4 or 5. That could be a +4 goal difference for someone like MHay potentially in his final game of the day. Or JabGT. I know we're sort of procrastinating of what can maybe happen in the future. Again, it is in Jablet's hands. If he wins this next game, it's done and dusted. He will be your winner in this group. And although we still will watch that final game, it will only have a battle of sort of 2nd place on the line to who will get that better selection, that better chunk of prize money, so to speak, Richard. So it really is in Jablet's hands on this one. I'm looking forward to getting into the game as soon as it is ready. I mean, who's impressed you the most today?
It's got to be Jablet. He's won both games. I also, look, you were talking about goal difference in the final game. If Michael smashes Jablet here, 3-0, even 2-0, and gets Jablet's goal difference down, that could play into the final game, because one of those 2 players then will know how much they have to win by to finish top. There's still a lot of FIFA left to be played and a lot to play for. Here we go, though. Jablet's final match is in his own hands to win the Pro for a Day tournament for AJ3 FIFA.
And as we said before, £1,500 alongside being the champion, being crowned the champion for this UK country farms. This is a huge achievement. Of course, we are looking at the POV of Michael Fisher. 4-2-3-1 set up again. Matuidi at right back, Richard. I mean, I'll ask you this question as we sort of jump into the tie and get ready to go into it. Who is your sort of top two or your top three right backs in this French team if Pavard is not in the conversation?
Well, it wouldn't be Matuidi because he's left-footed. I don't like having left-footed players on the right and right-footed players on the left. In the defensive aspect, I would play I'd play Lucas Hernandez in at right back, and then I would be playing Benjamin Mendy at left back. Benjamin Mendy does get forward. He's quite unreliable as a defensive aspect, but he's physical and he's pacey. He would be my left back, and then Hernandez would be my right back. I'd just go with what's standard there. I wouldn't be dropping central defensive midfielders into right back. The only one potentially that I would consider would be Tango Ndombele. He would be the only player that I would consider right back in that back four with Mendy at left back. But for me, Hernandez right back, Mendy left back.
Well then, this is a huge game. If you're in the corner of AJ3 or Jablet, you win this, you will be not just the pro for a day, you will be a champion for a day, and walking away with £1,500. It's in Michael Fisher's hands to turn it around, though. Do everything he can to turn the tables. It will be Michael Fisher, as we said, playing in that blue of France, currently in possession with Paul Pogba, whilst Jablet, fresh out of that golden goal win, will be doing everything. For me, for Jablet, yes, of course, he's had the better of the results today, but he's just come off the back of a win, Richard. He's going to be full of confidence, you'd think, right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you look at what he's been able to accomplish thus far. He's full of confidence. He's playing with momentum. He's playing with a sort of chip on his shoulder, top of the table. He's going to take some stopping.
Is anyone going to be able to stop him, though? Player that made the FIFA 19 Global Series playoffs out in Hamburg last year. Also making some good runs back at FUT Champions Cup December. If you're a FIFA fan, you'll remember that tournament at the Gfinity Arena. Sort of his second home last year in FIFA 19 alongside the Elite Series. A lot of experience, a lot of time playing in London. Doing well in tournaments, making good runs. I think he got a top 8 finish in a previous tournament. Back to goal, Jablet dancing, full of confidence, deserved the goal. It's the upright. It just about saves Michael for a split second, or for how long? It's a great save, Lloris. And the game still remains at 0-0.
What a chance that was right there. Beautiful play from Jablet. We talked about the confidence in the early stages that he's playing with. That was a perfect example of it right there. Paul Pogba started it, picked it up to Kante, who then got a little bit fortunate with the pass. Mbappe, twisting, turning, drag back. And only the post separated him in a 1-goal lead.
That's the difference there. And Jablet would have learned from those last couple of games, Richard, because there's a couple of times where maybe he was just overdoing that fake shot. And that one, of course, going via the way of the drag back, allowed him to look at a plan B or a plan C potentially in front of goal. Michael Fisher might not be able to take a sort of top 2 finish or win this group, but what he can do is he can still disturb the party of Jablet. If he gets a win.
Jablet's been on top, hasn't he, thus far, though? He's looked really good.
One thing I'd love to hear and see as well, Richard, across sort of Spain, France, Germany, where all their sort of country finals are taking place, how many people have not gone with France? I'd be interested to find out that maybe after the tournament is finished. Mbappe, back to goal, Griezmann. Can't turn and can't get away from his man. And do you think anyone would have sort of used away from France? At least someone would have had to.
In the Open Series, it was probably Liverpool who were the second most picked team behind France. We've not seen any Liverpool here today, but I assume there will be at least one player who's picked Liverpool throughout the Pro 4-a-day finals across the nations that are here competing. Germany, France, Spain, Brazil, United States later this evening. We can't have had a clean sweep full of France, surely.
I mean, it would say enough for the French team of how dominant they are. Michael Fisher with Mbappe, drops the shoulder, half a drag back. That's the chance, and that's the goal. Maybe. Bateson 87's pro for a day. Michael Fisher wants to stir the pot.
Big goal right there from Michael Fisher. Smashed into the bottom left corner from Kylian Mbappe. And really putting Jablet up against it. If he wants to finish top, he's going to have to work for it.
Well. First time that Jablet's actually been behind Richard in a tie. He's always led the games from the two we've seen already. How is that going to change him mentally? 5 minutes away from the half-time interval where we can have a better look at both of these teams. But Michael Fisher, that's what he's needed. He's needed a bit of a wake-up call, an opportunity to do so in front of goal to score. To show what he's really about, because in these formats at times, if you don't have a good start and you lose your first game mentally, you're going to feel hard done by. And in the end, it's not really a fair reflection of how good you are. As we said, these guys have qualified through hundreds or thousands of people that have signed up. You choose your team, you choose your content creator that you want to represent, and you go from there. Can say this chance for Jablet went for that double tap pass around the corner. Clement Lenglet was there, and that should just about do us for the first 45 minutes, Richard, in this tie. But at the moment, Michael Fisher is making things difficult.
And again, we've seen it every single time throughout the 4 games previously. Nobody has been able to pull away. Nobody has been able to assert their dominance. Every single match has been pretty tight, pretty contested, and pretty tentative, in all honesty.
No, it's so true, Richard. Some of the games have been so tightly contested, whether, we've been lucky enough to see a goal in the first 45, but it's all even more than 2 goals in some games. I think the best we saw was the 2 goals to 1 match, but really that only came after golden goal. So technically, 1-1. Being the highest goals that we've honestly seen in a game. Can Jablet be the first person to turn that one around? If he gets a win, he will be the champion here. Will win the group 3 out of 3. We did often say, would someone go 3 and 3? It's a big challenge. It's a big ask.
See that pause cued there by Sun TZU, a.k.a. Jablet. Beautiful play. Rebound! He's onside. He is onside. Ben Yedder levels up the game. 1 apiece.
Whether it was lucky or not, Richard, that's what he needed. A little bit of fortune to fall the way of Wissam Ben Yedder. An open net and into the pause. He will be able to go full of confidence. On the other side of that for Michael Fisher, this is the attacking game plan. It's not necessarily the one that he will use. It's an option that he can use later on into the game if he needs to in the last 10 minutes or so. But it's a 4-1-2-on-2, that, Richard, with sort of incredible depth there, very high up the field.
Yeah, it was editing his attacking custom tactic there was Michael Fisher, I believe. We saw it in the previous game that he did play when he was editing that sort of in preparation, I think, ready for the change. He's got nothing really to lose right now. does Michael Fisher. He can't finish top. He can't actually finish second either, because both of the players who are going to play are already on 3 points. One of them will guaranteed get 6 points. So the best he can do is get £250, which is third and fourth. So I don't see anything really that bad about just attacking the game, trying to go out on a win.
On a quick look at how Jablet currently looks 4-4-2, but as you said, Richard, many game plans are in use for players. It's all about where and when you change into them. But I completely agree with you. I mean, what have you got to lose if you go out and just throw everything forward? There's the attacking game plan, as you said, if he wants to change into it. So 4-1-2-1-2. Was it constant pressure? Was he jumping between the two? It looks like pressure. Where's he going? Constant pressure. There you go.
We'll see if these attacking changes bring us more goals here in this matchup.
If you haven't been following the sort of context of what is on the line on this one, if Jablet was to win, okay, Santizu 4-4-2, it would be game over. And it would be sort of tournament over as well. The group would be done. £1,500 would be in the back pocket of AJ3's Pro for a day. A pause cued there straight away by Jablet. I'm not too sure what he didn't have time to change. Let's see if we see Michael Fisher go into that attacking game plan and really throw everything forward for this. As you said, he's got nothing to lose.
Whereas Jablet has everything to lose, but also everything to gain. He's in a very tough situation right now.
I mean, it's a horrible situation as well, because if you do lose the game, Rich, you're sort of watching that game between MHay and praying that maybe your luck could be enough. This is better. Ben Yedder, half a drag back, does go down to ground, and for a split second, I thought there could have been a couple of penalty shouts there. Well, I've just got for a goal kick in the end. It was not a good finish by Wissam Ben Yedder. Can't see the POV, of course, of Jablet, so we can't see what changes he's making or see if Michael's too bothered about the changes that he has made in compared to what Jablet has done. We'll see if he compares teams. It looks like he's always a bit, when do I bring on Kingsley Coman, isn't he?
It's all about
when does he come onto the pitch?
Bringing Coman on at the right time as well, when your sort of defensive counterparts that you're playing against are at their most fatigued. Because we have to remember as well, if you're going to bring Griezmann off, the only reason you bring Coman on is for the pace, because in every other stat, Griezmann's better. So then, when is the right time to bring Griezmann off? When has he fulfilled his role?
It's a tough one. I mean, you see many players sort of around the 70th minute mark. Of course, depends on the scoreline. Michael Fisher, Mbappe can't just turn around Langley. Well played by Jablet. Time slowly ticking away. You can imagine sort of JabGT and MHay watching this as well, saying, please, Michael Fisher, please cause an upset.
This could be that upset.
Ben Yedder, back to Mbappe. Here's Michael Fisher, just driving forward with numbers. Turns really well. Ben Yedder, it's an even better save.
Woo! Hugo Lloris diving to his left-hand side, punching that wide. I think if that's a power shot, potentially goes in, because he went for the finesse. Went for placement over power.
Dembele. 20 minutes left in this one. This game could swing either way. Jablet wins. He will be the winner for the UK Country Finals. 3 out of a possible 3 wins. £1,500 in his back pocket. Michael Fisher turns it around. It'll be his first win of the day after 2 straight defeats. We'll now give MHay and JabGT an extra sprinkle of confidence to why they can't go and win this group on goal difference. Pause again queued. I mean, there's been like 3 or 4 pauses in this second half. Maybe it is time for the ultra attacker and for Kingsley Coman to enter the frail. Ben Yedder for Jablet. Needs to provide us with one bit of magic. It could be the magic that wins in this tournament, wins in this pro for the day. Is that the chance? Is that the gift?
Ooh, so tight. The scoop turn was perfect from Jablet right there. Just looking to capitalise on the shot. Back post is in. He's whipped it. Maurice does well.
For a split second, you thought that was just going to fall to Mbappe's feet down the other end with Jablet, didn't you? Got fortunate to fall through the back 4, but Mbappe in those areas, anyone in those areas is going to be fine in the back of the net 9 times out of 10. 6 minutes away from a possible golden goal scenario again. Let's count of how many times we would have gone there. It'd be 4 times in a row. Keeper's off his line. That's risky. That's very risky indeed. It's not a great finish for Mbappe. Back to the pause menu will go. It's time for Kingsley Coman, I think, for Michael Fisher. It's just who comes off.
Get Giroud on. Olivier Giroud to win the game. See the changes here coming on. Come back on defence by the looks of it on his left cam. Tolisso also brought on at right back for Blaise Matuidi, so strengthening up that right back area. And he is going just to have a look at the 4-1-2-1-2, see what changes he can make in this. What he's doing there is just seeing what the team, with the subs he just brought on, what the team would look like if he was to change into the 4-1-2-1-2. If you are sort of worried, like wondered what he's doing there, he's just sort of previewing what it would look like if he was to change into the attacking custom tactic preset.
What I was going to say, Rich, is that he should have probably started Tolisso from the word go in at fullback. Each to their own, though. Matuidi actually comes on the other side of things for Jablet. Refreshes that midfield. Kante goes off the pitch. Well. If there's one time to clutch up and there's one time to produce some magic, this is your opportunity. So either one of these two, Jablet or Michael Fisher. Or do we need more golden goal? More drama? Griezmann. Finds the feet of Dembele. Recycles that one well to Matuidi. Chance for Jablet late on Mbappe. Drops the shoulder, well read defensively, and that will do us for another 19 minutes and another golden goal. Is getting queued up right now, Richard. 4 times in a row we've been to golden goal. I mean, as expected, we'll keep on going there.
I've just seen AJ3 there come into the chat box with the little trophy emoji. Not quite yet. Still got one big golden goal left, does Jablet. If he wins this golden goal, he is the champion. He has secured it. 9 points out of 9. Nobody can touch him. However, Michael Fisher, if he was to beat him, then it would come down to the final game of the day and goal difference would be up for grabs. That would be the deciding factor. A lot left to play for in this golden goal period.
Yeah, still so much to play for, Richard. So much up for grabs. And, of course, great to see everybody in here, those that are involved in the Pro for the Day tournament, especially the managers, so to speak. AJ3 in the building. I mean, it'll be a perfect day for his pro in Jablet. Could be 3 out of 3. He's just, we say 90 minutes away. He's a goal away. Scores that goal. It is group done and dusted. Michael Fisher does it for Bateson 87. then things start to get interesting. They get very interesting indeed, because then MHay would have hashtag or JabGT of G2 Esports. They can turn it around on an unbelievable goal difference run. This group completely flips on its head. There's someone else that finishes first. There's maybe someone else that finishes second. I'm looking forward to seeing how this golden goal sort of interval plays out.
And look, if Michael Fisher was to win this game, then we'd be speaking to the admins and the people behind the scenes, trying to figure out the sort of precautions and everything, the permutations of what goal difference needs to be. What does one of the two players in the final game need to win by to finish top of the table? What does Jablet need to sort of hope that goes his way, and those two players only maybe win by one goal in the end in the goal difference scenario? But look, he could just win this game right now in golden goal, and we won't even have to worry about the golden goal difference, I should say, in the final match.
The question I've got to throw straight back at you, Richard, is that are we going to see a 4-1-2-1-2 attacking game plan in use to kick off golden goal? It'll be up to Michael Fisher if he wants to use it. Again, it's between it at fullback. It's the fullback he loves to play. As you said, the only thing that sort of doesn't make sense is he going to change it? Maybe he heard us.
Spoke too soon.
Maybe he heard us, and now it's time for Talisso to come on. I think, as you said, the one thing that didn't make sense is that between he's a left-footed player at right back. Used Talisso. I think Jablet was using him. I think Hayward was using him. That's half of the people in this group using that formula. And maybe it's part of the reason why they've been winning and having so much success. But it will be Michael Fisher in the blue of France. Jablet from right to left in this first half of golden goal. Remember the scenarios. Jablet scores, Jablet wins the PS4 Tournament's Pro for a Day UK Country Finals. And he's going to bag himself some serious prize money as well, Richard.
£1,500 if he is to score in golden goal right now. That's guaranteed. Second place, £500. Third and fourth, £250 each. Can Jablet do it, or will we be going down to that final group game?
Well, here we go then. I mean, we wanted to see drama. We wanted to see late goals. We might not have seen many of the goals. We have seen a lot of drama, though, and this is one of those drama games. Said Jablet from right to left, remember, of AJ3. A goal away from winning this group. 3 out of 3. The perfect Friday for him. Look at Michael Fisher produce the goods to stir the pot and to make things even more interesting in this group. Jablet, Ben Yedder is his sort of right cam of choice. For me, he's got to be more central. Seen what he can do when he's in the centre. In the 4-2-3-1, the cam or striker role. Coman. Not really a starter for many. Jablet moving with pace. Coman trying to make things difficult. A £1,500 goal could be on its way. Not on that occasion. Varane does well.
For Hashtag United, for G2 Esports, you're wanting a Michael Fisher goal to give your player a chance at claiming the top spot.
Rescued early days here by Jablet. It's been a common theme that been recurring, to say the least. So far. Dembele into Mbappe. Michael Fisher wins a corner. And into the pause menu we will go, Richard. 15 minutes on the clock. 4-1-2-1-2 Narrow is in action, so he has gone straight for that attacking game plan, which doesn't really surprise you. He wants to get it done. He wants to score a goal early doors.
We'll see if both players are matching each other up. That's what the pause could have been potentially about there. Just to check. Is my opponent playing in 4-1-2-1-2 narrow? I don't think there's going to be any changes this early on. Just having a look at the custom tactics, just double checking everything. As we do get back underway from the corner.
Want to play it short. Talisso All the way up from fullback, goes down to ground. Referee waves that one away. There was ever a penalty shout. It was waved away instantly.
Oh,
could have been in.
Didn't make the run.
Coman. Still with it. Driving forward. Is there the cut back? No, it's not there. Chances at either end. Just got to be better, but got to be more clinical.
It's a real good opportunity, that one, down the byline. He was looking for the cutback, looking to get all the way to the byline.
Lovely ball again. This time Ben Yedder is in the middle. Can he just time that run? He times it really well. There's the cutback! He goes on his own! Is he offside? He is. He's just offside, Mbappe. That could have been the goal.
Beautiful finish, I have to say, as well. Over the top of the goalkeeper, in off the post. But inches offside.
What a chance that was. That would have been group done and dusted. What a goal that could have been to conclude it. Straight back down the other end, Michael Fisher. Kante wins it well. And Jablet, that's got to give him confidence. He's just made that chance happen out of nothing. Absolutely nothing he's made that. Chance.
Oh, ooh.
It's a long ball, isn't it? Just had a little bit too much sting on it. Third of this one gone already. As we said, such a big game. Jablet wins. It will be all said and done. He will be the champion for the UK country finals. Kingsley Coman does well to get around the fullback. Tolisso. Back to Pogba. Patient build-up.
Still waiting for the space.
And Mbappe now wants to get into that area. You know exactly where it's on the edge of the box. Whether it's Ben Yedder, whether it's Mbappe. Here's that chance. He's doing everything he can to sort of suck out the two centre-backs. Could that be the opportunity? Tolisso comes across. There's no thank you. Deals with the danger.
He's getting closer and closer. He's had an offside goal. He's had a couple of last-ditch interceptions. Jablet, is this the one? Back post if he wants to play it. Ousmane Dembele.
Surely! Surely! Oh, another great block at the back. It's still not dealt with. Ben Yedder! And that's the game done and dusted. He will be top of the pile. That will be 3 wins out of 3. And who else to cause those nightmares on FIFA? It could be on Ultimate Team. It could be on head-to-head. It could be on kickoff. Wissam Ben Yedder to bag yourself $1,500. That'll be AJ3 taking the top crown, top of the pile, the winner of today's.
This time he is onside, Ben Yedder.
I thought you said was he onside? I was going to say, no. Oh my god, please don't tell me that.
It was very tight. I have to say it was very tight. I've just watched the goal back here to my left-hand side, but Ben Yedder, big goal, big player. I mean, who else would it have been? Let's be honest. Who else would it have been but Wissam Ben Yedder to win you a tournament?
Let's have a look at how those final standings look, because as we said, there's no way that it could be turned around. There's no way that things can be changed around either, because it's 3 wins out of 3. It's been the perfect day for Jablet and AJ3. I mean, what an introduction to the world of FIFA esports for you, Andy, if you are watching this. 3 out of 3. Jablet with the win. 1.5k in your back pocket. And for a player that we haven't really seen this year, for his own reasons, what a way to end the FIFA 20 year. That means there's no way possible that MHay or JabGT can take that top spot from that man. He is deserved it. Look at those results he's had today, Richard. You look across the board, 1-0 win there, went to golden goal, got a win there, went to another golden goal and snatched a win with Ben Yedder. That's job done for him, and huge congratulations to him. He's been a pro for a day, and he is going to be the champion from today here in the UK Country Finals.
Yeah, massive performance from Jablet. He's done his talking on the pitch. Big results. 2-1, 2-1 in golden goal. When the going got tough, the tough got going, as Ronan Keaton once said. What a man. And Jablet does it, clutches up on the biggest stage, picking up £1,500.
Yeah, not bad at all. I just saw Andy in the chat say AJ Esports is born. We want to see it, Andy. Get Jablet on a 1-year contract, and we'll see what can maybe happen. Hopefully, the FIFA 21 year. But huge congratulations to you, Andy, and Jablet. We are going to still play out that final game, of course, to see who's going to be finishing second, who's going to be sort of second in the pile. Will it be #United's MHay, or will it be G2 Esports' of course, very own JabGT? Commiserations to Michael Fisher. Fantastic sort of couple of games. It's narrow margins at this level. It really is. 3
golden goal losses Michael Fisher suffered. I've just seen him come into the chat there as well, just saying 3 golden goal losses. Heartbreaking. On another day, it could have been him top of the table. But as we do conclude the final game here, as we get ready for Mitch Hayward up against JabGT, they're fighting for second. Third to second is a £250 prize pool difference. So it's certainly worth playing in this final game to try and be victorious. But all the plaudits going to Jablet of AJ3.
Yeah, commiserations, Michael. Huge congratulations, though, on a great year. Obviously playing in the E-Premier League, playing for Norwich, and playing in this PS4 Tournament's Pro for a Day tournament. Well. Last game of the day, Richard. It's been an unbelievable run, this one. Full of drama, full of action. Hopefully, it can end in the most perfect way as well. And Hayward kicking it from right to left. JabGT. Of course, from left to right on this one. So many great games. And the best thing is we get to do it all again later tonight. We're going to be covering the United States Country Finals. Myself, Brandon Swift, and Richard Buckley. We're going to be seeing even more fantastic teams battling out. We're looking at the likes of Envy, Complexity Gaming, Team Liquid, and last but not least, Misfits Gaming, a tournament that we kept a close eye on just 24 hours ago, and they confirmed their finalists for this tournament. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that one does play out, Richard, alongside seeing all the winners across the board, whether it's in France, Spain, Germany, or in Brazil. Chance for Ben Yedder. Cheeky chip. Keeper's off his line. It's cleared off the line by Varane.
I'm hoping, with sort of the pressure off a little bit in this game, would you say, that we see some real entertaining games. We see some end-to-end FIFA. We see 3-4 goals potentially scored, and not a golden goal finish. Let's hope for.
So we haven't had all the goals in the world, have we? Especially over here in the United Kingdom. We know that games have been really tight. Nothing to separate the two. Ben Yedder tries to finish that one at the near post. Unfortunately, no way through for him. I mean, what's been your favourite game of the day, Richard? I know we've still got one more here in front of us.
Probably the last game that we saw, I would probably say, just because there was so much riding on it. There was a chance to win the tournament. There was a chance for a big opportunity to be born for these two players that we're seeing right here if Jablet was to not win. And just seeing the composure in the final third, in golden goal, to see out the game. All the pressure, all the tension on the line. It's what FIFA Esports is all about.
Especially on the big stage, Richard. Mbappe. Trying to make something happen. I think for me, my sort of favourite game of the day, Richard, it was a tough one. I did like the JabGT one where it was against Michael Fisher. Sorry to bring up bad memories, Michael, if you're still watching. I can see you in the chat. A game where it was 88th minute, JabGT got a goal back, then snatched it in golden goal. But I think there's only one performance today that's really taken us all by surprise, and that's Jablet. 3 wins, has not messed about, has not needed to mess around, Richard. He's just got the job done where he needed to.
And we always say FIFA Esports, it's the small margins, Brandon. It's the small intricacies that separate finishing top and finishing bottom. Michael Fisher has not played bad today. But it's the small margins just offside there, killing Mbappe, that have put him out of the tournament. 3 golden goal defeats.
It's a tough one to take, it really is. What do you think it is in terms of why we haven't seen maybe as many goals as we would have expected to? The level of quality, the fact that it's only over 1 leg, nerves?
I think one-legged games of FIFA, you get sometimes unpredictable results. Also, the mental side of the game, the nerves and the real sort of cautious edge that all the players have played with has been apparent. We've not really seen a lot of skill moves in the final third. We've not really seen sort of players expressing themselves on the fear of losing the ball and getting counter-attacked on. In a one-legged game of FIFA, all the goals have been separated by 1 goal, Brandon.
Yeah, I certainly agree. There's not been any games that have like sort of run away. They may have been across different nations, different countries. As we said, this is over 6 different countries the PS4 tournament's pro for a day. You're looking at the UK allocation on the UK side of the pros on board. So they all should be proud of what they've been able to do, as I said, out of all of these guys, whether it's AJ3, a Bateson, chance now, Ben Yedder. There's a breakthrough, JabGT. He wants that second spot. He wants the extra £250. That's a decent finish as well. Interchange really well with Mbappe. And on that left boot, as we know, it could be on his left, it could be on his right. The man has a 5-star weak foot to his name.
Great finish, wasn't it? From Wissam Ben Yedder at that near post. Real clutch finishing in the final third. Who would you say your MVP on the pitch has been? We said Jablet's been the MVP on the actual players with playing. Who in-game do you think has been the most impactful player? Would it have been Ben Yedder, or do you think maybe Mbappe?
I might go against the curve, and I might go Clement Lenglet.
I was actually going to say Varane. I was going to say Rafa Varane. I think defensively, it's been much better defensively from the players than it has been offensively, just with the games that we've seen. And Varane was the player that made that crucial interception on the halfway line to set Jablet up for victory in his second match. That's what springs out in my mind.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that's why the scorelines have been so narrow and not really as too big. Chance around the corner, keepers off his line, but just defensively, everyone's been solid. And those 2 centre-backs have been so good. Whether it's Lenglet, whether it's Varane, either or, Richard, they've both been fantastic, and I think it's great that we've sort of pointed them out and given them the plaudits they deserve. Normally, it's the other way. It's talking about Ben Yedder scoring 3 or 4, and Mbappe hanging himself a brace here or there. It just hasn't happened today. Goals have not sort of flown in as expected. Hernandez.
Oh, it's a mistake.
Back to Mbappe. Could be a chance for an equaliser. Goes down to ground. Referee waves it away. I thought that could have been in for a penalty shout.
It was a tight margin, wasn't it? Right there inside the box. Of error on that tackle. Just got in front of the man. The referee deemed it as a fair tackle. If you are wondering what this is all about today, it's the PS4 tournament's Pro for a Day. You're watching the UK finals. You've got Germany, Spain and France finals all currently taking place. Then later on this evening, come back, you can watch the USA finals. That's going to be between Team Liquid, Misfits Gaming, Team Envy and Complexity Gaming. They're 4 players, exactly the same format, group stages. And the winner will be walking away with $1,500. That's going to be later this evening around 9 PM UK time.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting one, that, Richard. Coming up in quite a few hours' time, but should hopefully be able to deliver more goals and more of the same drama. What we've seen, so many big esports organisations taking place in everything we are doing over here on the competition centre provided by PlayStation. If you enjoyed what you've seen today as well, get involved with us on Twitter. Hashtag PS4 tournaments with maybe a GG to AJ3 and his pro in Jablet. What ball that is. For Mbappe, very cheeky. MHay currently down by a goal. Just the battle for second place, battle for the extra £250. I think we haven't seen the performance that we're used to seeing from Mitch. It's a player that we got to see a lot of in the Open Series, a lot of views in France. 20 minutes left now, 4-4-2 with the attacking game plan in action. It's the same 3 changes we're loving to see from Mitch. Doesn't matter if it's rain, sun, whatever day of the week, 70th minute in the game with France, you're going to see those 3 changes every single time. Will they be the impactful changes that he wants them to be, though? 20 minutes left. Down by a goal to 0. Needs a goal to send this into a golden goal scenario. Ben Yedder played it short. Coleman on the edge, fresh off the bench, trying to scoop turn his way around the defender.
We'll get an early prediction in, Brandon. Do you think later on this evening we're going to see a different team used, or is it going to be France again?
Chance. Just a second, Richard. MHay says, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's focus on this one for a split second. It's fresh off the bench. Second touch, Richard, he's had in the game. And he's already scored. Kingsley Coman, welcome to the pitch and potentially welcome to golden goal.
Well, he got the chance earlier on from the corner with Kingsley Coman and sort of wasted it. He tried a fake shot on the edge of the box in quite a unnecessary area. I think the percentage of that chance actually coming off with the fake shot was quite slim. He made up for it there in the end. Ball down the line. Pogba being the catalyst to it. Into the fresh substitution, Kingsley Coman, who slots in from close range.
Lovely through ball. Is he onside, Mendy? I think he could be on. MHay to snatch this one back to Ben Yedder.
Oh, what an awful pass.
Awful pass. Really bad one. Literally completely stitched up the defender there.
This game's starting to get quite stretched in the final 10 minutes. Surely we can't be going to golden goal again.
I mean, it'd be 5 times in a row, Richard, if we were to go that far. Mbappe back to goal. MHay, it's a great save, Lloris. Save after save after save from the Frenchman.
It's a great turn and a almost perfect save at full stretch there, Hugo Lloris. Oh, that's a poor pass. Fekir. Capitalising on the error. Paul Pogba now. Great tackle from Kante.
I feel like this one might not actually go to golden goal. Give us some late drama. Give us all some late drama in our final game of the day to get a second place finish. Benyetta. Chance now, last chance of the game. Coman's round the corner and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just because we're on head-to-head, Richard, and it's a little bit slower, but a lot of these accelerated fake shots, a lot of these sort of scoop turn fake shots are just not efficient as you would see in Ultimate Team, and it's just because of the pace of the game, in all honesty.
But it's also the players that you're using. When you do a fake shot with Kylian Mbappe, or when you do a fake shot with, I don't know, just who's a meta player on Ultimate Team? Ryan Kent. He's got like 98 acceleration, 97 sprint speed, probably 99 ball control. The stats that he's using are just outrageous. When you're playing with, for example, even an informed Neymar, for example, or a team of the season Neymar, these players that have got such heightened stats, Kingsley Coman, 84 rated, he's nowhere near it. Yes, he might have the pace, but the actual technical ability that he has just isn't there. That's why when I play as PSG, you get the ball to Neymar as much as possible because he's the only player that somewhat feels like he does in Ultimate Team. There's somewhat of a correlation. He feels smooth on the ball. He moves it quick. He can do the fake shots, the scoop turns, and it feels quick when he's doing it. But yeah, you just got to play a different way. That's why you see a lot of the goals down the middle of the pitch. 1-2 passes and then finesse shot on the edge of the box. You go in near post. Very rare do you see skill moves out wide. We don't barely see elasticos in head-to-head or reverse elasticos.
I mean, to flip that onto the French team, Richard, you got Mbappe there, and other than that, let's not forget there's 14 ratings difference between Benyetta's original items, or base item 83, the 97 team of the season so far. I know you're not expecting to get that sort of quality in a head-to-head environment, but those are the sort of differences, and with that comes a lot of pace, a lot of in-game stats that are so different. And sometimes players have just got to get used to not expecting the same outcomes and the same scenarios to be played out as they would have maybe an Ultimate Team. Here we go. Golden goal. Of course, it wouldn't be the UK finals without some golden goal, Richard. It's 5 times in a row we've been it. Other than our first game of the day, every single game has gone to a golden goal scenario. Mitch Hayward potentially to snatch it.
He's off.
Offside. It's another offside goal.
Just offside there. How many offside sort of calls have we seen in golden goal? I feel like every game we've had a tight offside.
Quite a few, isn't there? I don't know. It's not even the fact the offside trap's been spammed, Richard. It's sort of these runs that are being triggered that, unfortunately, the ball's not going to them quick enough. Straight back down the other end. This is JabGT, a player that's already won before on golden goal. Who's going to be taking that second spot at the moment? As you know, AJ3, top of the pile with Jablet. 3 out of 3, a perfect day for him. Bottom of the pile, unfortunately, Michael Fisher, 0-3, not able to win a game under Bateson 87. It's just a battle of second and third between these two. Who will it be? G2 Esports or Hashtag United to finish second for the UK country finals? The last time we saw Mitch involved in that really tightly contested golden goal went to the second half. Also, never saw that for JabGT. It was done and dusted in just 10 minutes.
Is it going to be a late or early finish in this golden goal scenario?
Benyetta, this is nice. He's going to be offside. Surely he will be.
Nope.
No, it was on. For a split second, Gab Actually, Self thought he was going to be. Offside there, JabGT. I mean, I think the key thing that we need to say to everybody that has qualified for these country finals across the 6 different countries, it's still a huge achievement. You're guaranteed money, whatever happens. Just as cliche as it says, literally just go out and enjoy yourselves. And this is your opportunity to be a pro for the day, to experience everything that comes with that. Is it going to be MHay to take in golden goal? Is it going to be hashtag United second spot to take? Back to Mbappe, no way around the corner. Or Clement Lenglet. Again, he's been my sort of MVP of the day. Rafa Varane's been your MVP of the day. That says enough when the defenders are getting all the plaudits.
It's been a defensive masterclass from France today. Barely shipped any goals, any of the players. It's been golden goal. It's been 1 goal deficits for a number of these games. Final match of the day here. Who's going to claim second prize and £500?
Mistake. Can it be worked on, though? Yes, it can. He wins the ball back. Split second, though. You thought that Kingsley Coman would have had yards to run into, a lot of space to drive into. As he said, we will be back later tonight with our United States country finals. Looking forward to seeing how that one breaks down. Here's a chance now, Ben Yedder.
Good tackle again.
It's that man again. He's making all the noise. Clement Lenglet. Another great tackle. Are we going to see a chance or even a goal before half time? And will that be the end of our UK country finals? Lovely ball into Mbappe to finish the game. And that's job done. Hashtag United will take that second spot in the UK country finals. And MHay, after a slow start, will pick up his second win of the day and will end proceedings in a second place finish. A familiar name to the PS4 tournaments sort of section and competition centre. Does well in the end. Finishes on second place. Commiserations to G2 Esports and JabGT. He will take that third spot. And in just a couple of minutes, we'll have a look at those final standings. But Richard, he does it in golden goal again. A late goal from Mbappe. He seems to be the man who's just clinical in those areas.
The man that you want in that scenario is Kylian Mbappe. Smashed it past the goalkeeper. MHay secures second spot. And the final standings will be as follows. It's going to be top of the pile, I should say. Jablet, second place Mitch, third place, unfortunately, JabGT, and fourth will be Michael Fisher. But what a day we've had, Brandon, so far here on the UK tournaments. We can look at the official confirmation of the group standings as they finished right now, and that is how it finished. Top of the pile, AJ Free as Jablet. Mitch Hayward, representing hashtag United, finished second. G2 Esports, JabGT was third, and unfortunately, with 3 golden goal defeats, Bateson 87 and Michael Fisher were 0-3.
Just take a look at those results at the bottom of the page. That says enough of how cagey, tightly contested, whatever word you want to use to describe these games, they have been so close and just literally, there's been on the line a lot of these. 5 of them went to golden goal. If that doesn't say enough, I don't know what will. The only game that didn't go was that MHay against Sun Tuzu 442 AK Jablet. That was a 1-0 win over just 90 minutes. But other than that, Richard, look, 2-1s all over the shop, 1-0 wins here. We've seen golden goal 5 times. I don't think I can take another golden goal over in the United States. So we probably are going to see it.
Yeah, we probably will, but hopefully we see some more high-scoring affairs later this evening. Let's have a look at the official prize breakdown for the players and what they earned here. for this afternoon of action. First place, Jablet, £1,500. Second was MHay, £500. Third and fourth take £250 each. So even if you did finish bottom, you're still walking away with £250.
And we must say as well, before we do end today's show and the UK country finals, a massive thank you, first and foremost, to PlayStation for getting myself, Brandon Smith, and Richard Buckley involved, to you guys at home for watching, and also to everyone that tried to compete, whether it was the online sort of qualifiers, whether it was the team finals, and you made it so close, you should still be so proud. And to every single one of our competitors that made it to the grand finals, to the country finals, whether it's in Spain, in France, in Germany, in the United Kingdom, in Brazil, or later tonight in the United States of America. Huge congratulations. But that is a wrap from myself, Brandon Swift, and that man, Richard Buckley. We will be back in roughly about 4 and a little hours' time for the United States grand final. Stay tuned, of course, on all PlayStation social media channels to see who comes out on top. But all that's said to do from us is to say good night, have a great weekend, and more importantly, a huge congratulations to AJ3's very own Jablet. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Peggy 18.
Bienvenue sur le Competition Center, le meilleur endroit pour jouer, regarder et apprendre. Que tu joues pour le fun.
Hi everybody, Brandon and Richard here to discuss the FIFA 20 Open Series. Let's turn your couch into the pitch and punt the competition.
Battle through monthly competitions for exclusive rewards and cash prizes. Kick back with dynamic themes, avatars, and FIFA points, whether you play once or perform like an icon across all 4 rounds.
Bring your A game to the qualifiers for a chance to be invited to the broadcast rounds, or stay ahead in the top 8 for any of the 4 open qualifiers to reach the monthly final.
This will mean you can then face other top performers for the title.
Captivate the community on stream for bragging rights, recognition, and a little something extra.
Ready to kick off? Power on your PlayStation and head to the events app.
Here you'll find tournaments you've entered, as well as upcoming ones you can join in the Tournaments tab. Filter by type and select a convenient date and time to play.
Next up, you'll have to link an ESL account.
That's short for Electronic Sports League.
Register on ESL within a few seconds using your PSN account. One and done.
Then you're ready to play. A notification will remind you when to check in so you can focus on the competition.
You can even review requirements, rewards, and related events at any time from the FIFA tournament menu.
Once registered, you can view your tournament details and check-in time. Show up or you'll be shut out on the sidelines. Review the rules to avoid any surprises and see where you land on the leaderboard. Set goals and strive for personal bests because you're ready to go for gold. Now let's walk through how to sign up in-game and on the competition centre.
Signing up in-game is simple. Boot up FIFA and locate the PS4 Tournaments menu option. Click it to visit a familiar place, the Console Events tab. The registration process is exactly the same. Sign up and prepare to play.
Over on the net, and not the kind you score on, visit the competition centre. Click play to enter the tournaments page. A tournament list appears first, then programs, recommends tournaments based on the games you play or follow, and your past and upcoming tournaments.
Programs are like the back of the FIFA game case. They tell you what you'll be playing, modes, modifiers, prizes, timing, related tournaments, and so much more. Please read the rules.
Filter FIFA tournaments by date to find competitions that suit your schedule. The icons next to the player count reflect prizes and the format. Click sign up and you're ready to enter the Open Series Stadium.
It's game time. A notification will remind you when to check in for your match. Press start game to begin the tournament and take to the field.
There goes the full-time whistle. Now it's time to reflect on your results in the match overview and record screen. How did you do? And more importantly, how are you going to improve?
Continue striking in the open qualifiers to close in on the competition. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the tournaments.